Welcome back, everyone, to session 17 of season 2 for Pandemonium. The group is behind enemy lines at the moment. Uh, we'll say a mixed result entry as they were able to soar through the skies, teleported by the Duke Royce's magicians. Kind of utilizing a hole within the cotton defenses that typically would block teleports, but didn't extend for 2 miles up. So the Duke was able to teleport the Gavels in, along with the Adamantium Renegades and his own Griffin guard, to infiltrate the giant camps and pull off a couple of big things. The Gavels were tasked with finding the Duke's wife, Persiana Royce, and successfully bringing her home. The Adamantium Renegades were tasked with finding the Baron Royce, the Duke's father and true leader of Kata, and rescuing him from the giant's clutches. The Griffins were charged with rescuing the Talons, an elite force of Katan soldiers who had been imprisoned since Kata had fallen. With that, the group was loaded into their gliders, teleported 2 miles up, and began to descend through the sky at breakneck pace. Had a little bit of trouble when Shinzo kind of utilized chaos magic to whip up a storm that mimicked the storm god's fury, with chaotic winds, bolts of ichor mimicking lightning, and this foul substance falling from the sky that attracted birds and predators. The group started off really hot navigating through, but as Jeet said, they jinxed themselves by saying they wanted one failure to do the fight in the sky. It eventually got three, having a pretty epic brawl as they were soaring through the skies of Kata with a rock, as well as two Chimera. The group was able to emerge victorious with Jeet skewing his glider, wrestling a rock, and still using some magic to stop himself from falling to the ground, which we learned afterwards would have been fatal. I forgot he had less HP. I always get his and Belric's HP mixed up because my head, it seems like it'd be the other way. But he would not have survived that fall without the magic. But the group was able to find their way down. The one thing that, well, actually, I don't think three shared it with the other two, but before leaving Dakota, Will, Wisteria, and Mockery had a bit of a report card meeting with Narak, the Baron of Chaos, servant of Shinzo Z. And outside of Wisteria, though, she was still slightly disappointed in her A- grade that got bumped up to an A with extra credit. The group was largely failing, with Narak berating Mockery for no longer shouting out the God of Chaos, not recruiting people, not this guy not living up to the expectations of a Chaos Knight, and chiding him for asking what the god's benefit was after pledging his service. Narak also mentioned that he wouldn't give up Mockery, and then he knew of Wisteria's efforts to find him a new god. And unlike the others, the Infernal gods who lost that bet, he was not going to give him up without a fight. He also graded Will, giving him a slightly passing. I mean, he still pass because he enjoyed some of the antics that Will got up to, as well as grading on a curve for, as he called it, having one of the Escari breeding projects be a part of his chaos group. He also mentioned too that while the Infernal God, he alerted the Infernal gods that you all would be infiltrating the island, and he expected this to be very entertaining for himself as well as his master Shinzo Z, and then occasionally spicing it up if they felt they needed to. His last edict before sending you back to the real world was letting Mockery know that Brolo could be a good recruit and maybe give him that Chaos Knight nod. Brolo also brought the group an opportunity that he tried to buy his freedom, or buy his way out, we'll say, with. He found, just happened across a merchant who was crying about his lost home and loved ones, and they found out that he had stashed 1,500 credits in a vault beneath his shop, along with some other goodies that could be acquired for the right person. He initially wanted 30%. G tried to get him to stay on for 50% dispersed. He declined and eventually settled for 20% of the haul there for shouting out this find. When they brought up what happened to the merchant, Barolo said that he threw himself off a cliff in his anguish. With that, though, the group is now on the ground. The fight, though, with the Chimera and the rocks, you all see kind of the wreckage of that fight around you. To your left, you see the body of one of the Chimeras crashed through a house, smoke still eking out of its lungs. You see the glider that Jeet just abandoned crashed through a window of one of the shops. It's you hear kind of the ground, you can hear the sounds and the ground shake as some of the giant patrols are starting to make their way towards this area to figure out what this disturbance was, this unearthed chaos. And with that, we are going to be doing an infiltration. So with infiltration rules, I threw them in the chat for in the campaign if you need a refresher. But with this, there's going to be rounds that you guys are going to go through, 4 rounds precisely, where you're going to have different obstacles placed in your path. With that, some of these obstacles may be ones that an individual can do or ones that a group can do. And heads up, you're reading the Archives and Nessus are looking at the infiltration rules. I'm going to switch the way they did the terminology because it throws me off each time. Archive says the individual is the one where everybody has to roll, but that just doesn't make sense to me in my head. So group, when I say group roll, everybody has to roll. Individual is one person could target it and get the IP points necessary for it, because it just doesn't make sense in my head and throws me off each time I try to think of it that way. So if that comes up, let me know. But yeah, it groups everybody, individual, one person. But with this, certain obstacles may just require 1 IP point. Some may require 2 to 3 or even more IP points. For the ones that do require multiple, if you get a crit success, you can earn 2 IP points. Otherwise, you can earn just 1 with a success. And if it is one that has multiple, another person can tag on and build off of your efforts to get that success. For group checks, where everybody has to roll, there'll be you guys can all make your roll. Only if you get a crit success, you can utilize that to cover up somebody's failure, but the failures will only result in awareness points once. So if 3 people crit failed their check, luckily it is only 1 crit failed check, utilizing kind of that worst crit fail or worst failure. So 2 people failed and 1 person crit failed, we utilize the crit fail for it. And what that means is awareness points. You guys are starting at 3 due to a little bit of trouble with that insertion, but each kind of multiple of 5, something happens. A complication occurs. So complications can be anything from a guard spotting you and questioning you to something happening that you guys are going to have to get out of. It may not be, likely won't be combat, but it'll be something that's confronting you directly that you're going to have to deal with. Also, too, when some of those levels, actually, I'll just tell you, 5 and 15, the DC for your checks will go up for awareness points. If you hit 20, the jig is up. There'll be a failure state, and it could change depending on kind of where you're at in the infiltration. So the failure state can be pretty different. And one thing I will say, kind of look at as well, because it's not just you all infiltrating too. Luckily, the awareness points will just be your actions, but if you fail, it could jeopardize the Griffins. It could jeopardize the Adamantium Renegades. You guys are all in this together. Last big thing I forgot to mention is so there'll be 4 rounds, but each round, the awareness points go up by 1. So it just naturally occurs, end of a round, you'll get 1 boost of an awareness point. So I know there's a ton of information right up front. What questions does the crew have?
How much time do we have before we get started to treat wounds and such?
Definitely. And you guys do, I think I mentioned this last time, but just to reframe as well, this whole infiltration is scheduled for 1.5 hours. You kind of estimating, looking at the charts that was provided to you, that kind of infiltrating and kind of all the things should take you, if everything goes well, about an hour. So you've got 30 minutes to play with if you want to rest, recuperate, and find a safe spot to treat your wounds.
Okay, yes, that's perfect because I do need some healing.
Would we be able? Would someone like Belric be able to know that Shinzo Z was interfering during our fly-in, or would I don't know.
I mean, there won't be a role for this. I'll let you decide if Belric would put it, because it's definitely like to anybody like this. There was some divine or infernal kind of interference with that, because the rain wasn't rain, the lightning wasn't lightning, the wind had a foul odor to it. It's definitely somebody messing with you, and
Okay.
yeah.
All right. That's good enough. Thank you.
So it sounds like so yeah, you guys hear kind of the thudding of patrols moving their way through, but it sounds like you guys want to maybe find a safe spot to lie low. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Perfect. How are you guys kind of plotting through that?
I imagine this place is pretty, like, this was recently taken over by an occupying army, right? So I imagine, and maybe I'm imagining incorrectly, that there are probably like a lot of abandoned homes around here.
What's the setting like, Tegan, where we're in right now?
Definitely, I think I forgot to do that. So yeah, so you guys look around, you see the once prosperous city of Kata, the oldest city within the free cities of Raffesia. You see that it looks like it's gone through hell. It's been a little under 2 months, or a little over 2 months, within the hands of the giants. You see some of the buildings look like they've been burnt out. Many of the doors look like they've been kicked in. Some of them look like they've been smashed by tree trunks or large clubs. One of the things you notice as you're kind of through this spot, it looks like you're kind of near the center of town, not too far from kind of the mercantile district, but you don't see any kind of signs of life, any signs of kind of the people of Kata within the city. It's eerily quiet. It seems deserted outside of that kind of thumping you can hear from the giant patrols. The Katan style, even though it's hard to kind of see with this war-torn, the war-torn streets, but Kata favors kind of a lot of, like, usually you could tell like this was a nicer, it's a normal period. They favor a lot of marbles, a lot of stone, a lot of kind of like concretes with artistic designs, and you can even still see some of like the murals and pieces that may have adorned these buildings before, but now just tarnished, dingy, and broken.
Okay, so I think our first move is to find an abandoned house and try to get in there quickly and quietly.
Maybe
One
keep
that
an
is
eye out.
hopefully still mostly intact.
Maybe keep an eye out for one that has enough cover, but otherwise looks very broken into and messed up. Because if there's still giants around here looking for potentially loot that was passed over, a place that looks rougher would be less enticing for them.
Sure.
Mysteria, give me a perception check.
All right. Secret or
You can roll it open. You look through, you find a few kind of like good homes that look like they're, or good spots that look like they've been broken through. Not finding kind of like the perfect ideal spot, but definitely some that you think you got to give some cover, and especially if you guys stay out of sight with them, may draw less attention.
All right, we rush inside then.
All right, but give me a stealth check then.
All right.
Who are we missing?
Yep. Sorry.
And I'll let you guys narrate this. You're able to get out of sight. You're able to kind of find some refuge there. But you've kicked up some noise, you left some sign that you're there before obscuring yourselves. You're gonna earn 1 awareness point.
Picturing as we're like moving past wreckage, and Wisteria's like, "There's a spot over there." I like take a step, and my leg that was injured in the fight above, I kind of like stumble and like I shout in pain just from the wounds that I have from earlier.
Definitely kind of a bit of blood probably leaks out too, just kind of give way that somebody came through.
Jade's like, let me help you with that. Here, lean on me, and then his armor just goes clunk, 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 clunk.
Perfect between the noise, the footfalls, the dust kicked up, just some awareness that somebody has recently come through. But you are able to find this kind of burnt out building that looked like it's been kind of hammered through by the giants and some of their monsters a few times. But luckily, it shields you from the sky, shields you from some of the eyes, and gives you a chance to rest, patch up, and kind of prepare for your infiltration. What do you guys do?
I would like to start by like sort of kneeling on the ground and casting Gentle Breeze.
Oh, amazing. In that case, I can probably medicine myself if Wisteria's handling others.
I will take care of myself, at least for the first 10 minutes.
Cool. And I'll do the basic version of treatment.
During these 10 minutes, could Mockery speak very briefly with Wisteria?
Definitely.
So he'd take Wisteria to one of the darker shaded portions of this ruined building, and you can tell he doesn't look good. He looks maybe a teensy bit guilty as he begins to speak. A thought occurred to me, one I don't like. It's not honorable, but... And you see him look away as if thinking back to that dream, to that grade, and he looks back to you, Wisteria. The renegades, if they fail in their task, that they do not bring back the rightful ruler, then it will be the Duke who continues to reign. And if we succeed, we bring back his love. We are in his good graces. If we were to cause some ruckus, enough to get the renegades caught, but not our own, and even more treacherous, caused it to where the king could never be saved again, it could aid us greatly in the future. I do not like these thoughts, but I cannot deny that there is some strategy to them, some weight, some reason. And he looks back to the rest of the crew that I will say he is whispering a bit, so he doesn't want the rest of them to hear this because he clearly looks ashamed by these thoughts. I only wonder if bringing this up would cause more friction between us, or could lead us to some greatness. I bring it to you, for you are the smartest of us. Who could weigh this risk?
First off, there's no such thing as a bad idea. Every idea is worth considering, weighing the pros and cons, and then making an educated decision, regardless of how it might seem from the outset. So don't feel embarrassed at all for bringing this up. Secondly, we should acknowledge the position we're in right now, because Shinzo Z has a hold over us, and he has power beyond that of any in the gavel. So we're kind of stuck at a crossroads between doing what the gavel wants but risking Shinzo Z's wrath, or doing what Shinzo Z wants and potentially getting out of that hold he has on us, but upsetting the gavel. It's a tough choice, but an interesting idea.
I believe this action would sufficiently entertain Shinzo Z.
But would it be enough for us to be free of him? Or will he just continue to push us further and further along, away from what the desires of the rest of the gavel might be?
The rightful king already surrendered. The Duke fights still for Kata. He is an honorable man, a logistics man, and a man with love in his heart. There is reason to prioritize him over this king.
Certainly I see no benefit, given the potential outcomes of providing assistance to the renegades. But any outright action to harm the king will be a difficult thing to justify to the rest of the gavel. Maybe if there's a way to draw the war chief to the renegades to ensure that he is an impediment to their goals and not ours, we can do so without drawing suspicion to ourselves.
I shall take actions for this. If I come to be discovered by the rest of the gavel in this treachery, I alone will take the blame.
During that chat that they're having, Balric is treating his wounds, but also kind of speaking aloud, like, "What the hell was that? We were told that'd be free and clear. That was not free and clear on the way in. I've never seen any weather like that, but I've also never been in a glider before. What the hell happened?" That would be directed at Will and Jeet.
I believe, unfortunately, that was Shinzo Z's doing. Decided to mess with us.
Well, that mark. Where's your mark, Will? I'm sorry. It's on your tongue?
Mine's on my tongue, and I think it kind of glows whenever I open my mouth. Like, so I have like a little bit of like, I always imagine like orange light coming out of my mouth whenever I open it.
Well, that mark on your tongue nearly got us killed. When this mission's over, if we still have our lives, we need to make sure that we get that. We need to prioritize getting that mark out of your tongue, Will, so that these chaos, these rocks don't keep coming for us.
If I knew a way to get rid of it, it would already be done.
As you all speak to, and between Mockery and Wisteria's conversation and the Belric, Wills, and Jeets, you all see it kind of appear before you see it form and then appear. You see like this big Cheshire-like smile appear out of nowhere, and then you see this halfling with silvery black skin like a night sky, with the shining stars kind of popping out from different points upon his flesh, and his eyes glowing bright with this dark hue. You see the rock appear, and he goes, "Gavels! That! Oh, you, fire guy! Jeb, fiery man, whatever. You jumped off your glider, had the whole hell going crazy. I mean, you guys aren't doing great with infiltrating, but you have been entertaining. This is gonna be fun, and the other Hell Lords are looking forward to messing with you. I mean, guys, this is, you guys are doing it."
I want to cast telekinetic projectile.
I'm so
and
tempted
launch
to
a piece of driftwood at him.
Yeah, please. I'm so tempted to fire an arrow at him, so I would love for you to do that.
Go for it.
I'm not expecting to actually do any real harm to him. I just want to throw something at him. Let's do that.
Will, you see this projectile fly at him? He clocks it, looks at it, smiles, lets it hit him, completely unfazed.
And I don't say anything either. It just I don't even really like. I have to like look at him to cast the spell, but I just go like, and then just go back to what I was doing.
Hey, C minus. I mean, gotta work on your punchline, but hey, your grade's improving. You too, Mockery. I won't say what you said, but I heard what you said. That sounds fun.
Grades?
Oh yeah.
Or we'll just
Aria talked herself up to an A. Will was a D minus. He's a C minus now. And Mockery was an F. But after that was a B maybe.
We're getting
Am I
grades
the only
based on
one
how-
who Am I the only one who reads Mysterious notes?
Well, I think that just happened this morning, right? So I don't think anyone's had the opportunity yet.
still probably.
I think Jeet's the only one that mechanically skims them.
After hearing this about the grades, Belric would look like kind of confused, but just like give kind of concerning glare over to Jeet about what he's hearing.
Yeah, we're getting grades now, based on how chaotic we're being, how entertaining we're being to Shinzo Z.
I refuse to believe that such kind of cheap ploys like grading and report cards could affect the behavior of one of the esteemed gallows.
What do you think about that, Wisteria?
You see her like stitching up her own leg, and then like pulls a little too hard, and the stitch unwinds, and she like shouts and curses. I rolled my treat wounds check and failed, and then used a hero point and failed again. And I'm like, Narak, could you not be so distracting? Sorry, I don't want to affect my grade anymore. Hi, Narak, it's nice to see you again.
Oh my god.
You kind of see he frowns a little bit at that, and he goes, yeah, don't like that. But, I mean, you guys are on the ground, you fought a bird, came here with a little bit of an offer. I mean, you guys have to do the whole infiltration thing. I don't know if your buddies told you, but we told the other infernal gods. And you guys they're not too fond with you all right now after the old heel switch and a lot of you signing contracts and pledging loyalty to the big guy. So they're going to be messing with you. And we'll probably be messing with you a little bit too. But we wanted to offer you a little bit of maybe we go a little bit easier on you. Maybe we don't put the full gas, the full treatment. We gotta still play our little games because we gotta keep it fun. But how would it like if we just took a little bit easy and maybe help the shadows hide you a little bit, or made your lives sound a little bit sweeter if you needed to?
The last time any of us accepted power or convenience from Shinzo Z, more than half of us got trapped in contracts. So I, for one, do not agree to this. Shinzo. Plus, I do not think Shinzo of all creatures can be trusted to keep a contract.
Oh, fireman, that burns me. That burns me, fireman.
Key, do you still have a sending spell available? You should send the details of this offer to the Duke and see what he thinks of it.
No.
It's his mission. We're under his contract. Shouldn't he be the one to decide whether his wife is worth a deal with Shinzo Z?
You want to hear what I want to have you do? I mean, like, fireman, you may like this. You don't like us infernals. I think Mockery, he sent like a decent message of saying, oh, Hell Knights, I don't want to be friends with you anymore. I'm making my own Chaos Knights. I think you all need to send a message to the other infernal gods, just that they suck. So, I mean, all I want you to do, deface a monument. and you get to pick how you wanted to face it. I like explosions personally, maybe fire guy, but it's up to you. We want you to face that monument and send a very clear message that the gavels are against at least those infernals. And instead, the shadows will hide you, your lives will be so sweet, and we won't go full tilt on messing with you.
Mockery will speak up. You want us to deface a statue of one of the infernal gods?
Statues and all the infernal gods, but Shinzo.
Are these all in one place?
They are.
All right. Well, maybe tell Shinzo if he wants me to do anything for him, he's gonna have to call in that favor and make me do it.
No, we're offering you a favor. Remember, we told you you're going to tell the truth. That doesn't work that way. That doesn't.
Does this favor apply to all the gavels, or can individual ones take it up while others do not?
Well, if you guys make your way to blow it up, or blow it up, right? Like, that's how I'm going to deface it. I don't know. No spoilers. But however you deface it, yeah, we'll make it easier for you guys to sneak through. Only one of you need do it, but you got to do it in the gavel's name, though. So, one of you, but gotta say it's all of you.
Jeet's just going to be silent until this creature leaves, and then he's going to speak a lot afterwards, but for now, he's silent.
You see, Narak looks at Wisteria and he goes, what do you think? I mean, sometimes things are so interesting that you have to write down, and we've written down things before. Do you think this is a good idea, Wisteria? What do you think about Shinzo, his ideas?
I think we're in a very tough spot right now. A lot of us are hurting, and despite my best efforts to take care of my wounds, I'm not very confident about our opportunities to achieve what we originally came here for at this point. I think that our skills and allegiance is very valuable to you, and the more you push us, the greater the risk you run of Jeet or Belric doing something drastic and making things more difficult for the rest of us to continue to help you. But, I mean, you're very clever. You found the right time to make the offer, as you always do.
I am very clever. I mean, there's a lot of boring things to get to the clever thing, but hey, you're earning that A.
We've been through.
Oh, go ahead.
We've been through. I would turn to Wisteria. We've been through hardships before and tough times. We made it through without the help of this creature and Shinzo. Ever since we've been engaged or in bed with Shinzo, things have just gotten harder. We can't accept any bargains or anything.
Well, I mean, like I said, you don't have to. Offers out there. If you want it a little bit easier, it could be easier. The shadows protecting you, your lives so sweet. I mean, those giants, they're barely big head, lippy brain, but a little extra sweetness to your lives makes things easy. But as always, the choice is yours. But we'll be watching. And then you see him just kind of step back into the shadow, fade away, his grin leaving Flask.
I am going to have no part of this. I hope his magic does not affect me one way or the other. Whatever the rest of you decide, that is your decision. You can make it for the Gavels, as after we're done with our Kata mission. I do not intend to be part of the Gavels for this particular reason.
Yeah, well,
Shinzo's influence.
It'd be nice if we all had that luxury of not being involved in Shinzo Z, but unfortunately, that's not the case.
Okay. This is a bigger concern now, Wisteria, about the fate of the Gavels, because if you do not believe in yourselves, unassisted by Shinzo Z, to accomplish the goals that you signed up for, then I fear that there's only one route for the Gavels to go down.
Wisteria pulls out a piece of paper and writes something down on it, and kind of like stands up and still kind of like limping a little bit, like stomps towards seat, pushes the paper into his hand, and then goes back into that corner and sits down by Mockery.
All right, I'll open it up and read it.
It says, "I can't speak ill of Shinzo Z in Mockery's presence."
Okay, both eyebrows go up. All right, folds it back, burns it with base kinesis. The other thing is that this mission is very timed. He's like thinking to try and get Wisteria out of this, and so because we have to follow a very strict schedule, we just may not have the time to do this. So let's try and stick to schedule. The schedule comes first, and then whatever extracurriculars you have.
I will do this. And Mockery stands. I will do this because it is partially I who draws Shinzo Zag to us. Others as well, from dealings. But I also draw the ire of the other infernal gods. I draw them onto the Gavels. If I can alleviate this pain in any way that I can, I will. Not just for Shinzo, but for the rest of the Gavels.
Unfortunately, I don't think we have time to fully discuss this, but I suppose I should let y'all know ahead of time. Remember how I said Shinzo's gonna have to call in a favor, like, to get me to do anything for him? He kind of did this morning. He said, if I tell the truth, leaving that somewhat vague, today while we're on this mission, then I will consider my favor completed, I think. So basically, it's like, if I ruin the stealth of our mission today, then I will be free from Shinzo Z for the rest of my life, I suppose. I'm still kind of weighing whether that's going to be worth it or not.
Is that how Will interpreted it, or is that how you interpreted it?
Both. Maybe I misread what you said.
He told you to tell the truth about something. He wasn't sure what, but he didn't put a time limit or put it to this mission. He just told you that eventually you'd have to tell the truth.
Oh, okay.
Change it.
Interesting. Okay, in that case, I now think that means something different, but I think Will would still assume that that's what he meant.
Yeah, she puts a hand on Will's shoulder. If that means getting out of under his influence, I will support you, no matter what trouble you bring on us.
All right, well, we'll see whatever moment comes where that becomes relevant. Hopefully, I won't have to speak to anyone at all while we're here, but here we go.
I did have these two castings of Restyle prepared, in case the two of you did want to go as, in charge of the rest of us.
Well, I think you can save it in my case. I haven't had an opportunity to use this yet, but he sort of pulls on his scarf, and he says, I think this could take care of it, at least for a short time. How long does that last, your spell?
It's not an illusion. It fully changes the clothing, and so it just changes the clothing forever. But it is only the clothing and nothing else.
Gotcha. All right, I have a disguise that can last 1 hour twice, and that will change my face as well. So if the time comes where we need it, I can use that.
Fair. Wisteria, should I do a snap on both of you?
Yeah, it wouldn't hurt. I mean, I'm still going to try to take advantage of the full 30 minutes to treat wounds as much as possible.
Yeah.
So, and because of I took the continual recovery, I can retry on myself. So I was immune for only the 10 minutes of the casting. So, let me do that. Well, are you going to do gentle breeze again, or does that cost you a spell slot?
It costs a spell slot.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm going to do
I
it.
mean, I can just do a lower DC and not get as many hit points if I don't get the bonus to the medicine check.
I'm thinking about just doing like the highest rank heal that I have for 3 actions and just healing everybody.
Gentle Breeze already gave everyone 10 HP.
It gave,
Right.
yeah, it gave everybody
Keep that in
12,
mind.
but I have 30 hit points right now.
Okay, that puts me at 33. I'm looking at the party thing. Mockery's pretty low. Also,
I don't think Mockery got the healing from the Gentle Breeze yet. So at
Can
least
I
he'll
treat?
have
My bad.
Can I treat?
24.
Can I treat wounds for Will or Wisteria?
If we're staying here for another 10 minutes, I suppose.
Can you treat wounds on me while I'm treating wounds on Mockery during the same 10 minutes?
Have
Oh,
a hair braiding
I
circle.
think taking another 10 minutes might be pushing it a little bit.
I mean, you guys have only done 10 so far, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we have 30 total, so we should use it.
Got it.
Oh, I was
And
thinking we were
your-
gonna like
your
use 10 now
thing-
and then like later, like, but maybe not. Maybe it'd be better to just do it all all at once.
And your apothecary's garden is was it 9th level relic?
Oh yeah, now it's 9.
I think it's like 5d8, 60. I have to do my math better, but it's around 5 or 68 for.
Yeah, I'll just post that. And
Oh, okay, cool. I healed myself up to full life, so you can give all of that to Mockery. Or Wisteria, or Will. Looks like Will isn't.
yeah, if someone wants to grab that, one of those apothecaries. Yeah, I'm at the 9th level now, so I actually have 3. But
Oh,
really.
nice.
Oh yeah, why don't I'll take one of those, and then I gave one to Mockery and Jeet. So if you want to redistribute one to Wisteria, maybe. Jeet?
I'll give mine to Will. Seems-
Okay, sure.
Okay, so I gain 1d8.
Sorry.
Oh,
I just posted it.
4d8, I think. It doesn't have a base level itself, so I guess it's
Oh,
well,
Oh,
we'll start with 1. So 1d8, and then level 3, 2d8, 5, 3d8, 7, 48. So 5d8.
oh, okay. I thought it was 1d8 per person. All right, cool,
5d8.
cool. Much appreciated.
Because all your
Mockery
sword next level with you.
So this is going to Will, Wisteria, and to who again?
You.
You.
Got it. Double checking.
Alright, well, I'll use the next 10 minutes to treat wounds on myself. At a expert DC this time.
Does anyone want me to treat wounds on them?
You may want to treat wounds on red if you're planning on using red.
I was gonna use my pet cash amulet, my Pokeball, and rescind him. And I might just pull out Bear next time if there's any sort of battle.
If you're gonna be healing anybody, I would personally recommend Mockery because he's the one that has to be close to the bad guys.
Mockery, do you want me to treat wounds on you?
I'm good.
Mockery would accept the treat wounds. However, a second thing, can I have Mockery talk to another person in these 10 minutes, or would we rather not right now? Keep things moving along.
Go for it.
All right. After getting treated up by Belric, he's gonna go over to Jeep. He's gonna sit down and look to him and just say, "Do not leave the Gavels. Once this is all over, I cannot look at my actions and say that they are justified. But with Shinzo Z, I was overzealous, misinformed. And now I bring the ire of the infernal gods and the treacherous hand of the god of chaos. In all ways, I am antithetical to the Gavels, and I do not believe I can escape this fate. Ruinous ideas flood my mind. I do not believe it's from Shinzo, but rather just the idea that I'm allowed to have them. I question my character, my honor. If anyone is worthy to still remain a Gavel, it would be you. I will stay a Gavel for as long as I feel that I am fit. Though that seems more and more to come into question as of late.
Mockery, it is.
I'm sorry.
It is not just you. The influence of Shinzo is across many of us right now. And yes, you pledge yourself to him as your god, but I understand that you want to move away from him. I respect that. If you want to move away, if you choose to not move away, that's also your decision. Just give me the grace to work with the facts of the situation as they are. As of now, the Gavels are under Shinzo's influence. As of now, I am oathbound to complete this mission. Once this mission is done, allow me the grace to leave the Gavels while they are under the Shinzo's influence, and then after that, should they break away from Shinzo's influence, allow me the grace to rejoin the Gavels. This is not about you. I have made mistakes, even as a member of the Gavel. But this is just how things will proceed. Is that fair?
Mockery seems surprised and he nods. Yes, that seems very fair.
All right. Then
I fear the direction I'm heading. And if I remain amongst the Gavels without your wisdom here, your voice, your honor, that of the teachings from Na's faith, and this clerics and monks, that we may continue to fall.
It's Mockery, you put your faith in the people around you too much. All right? You put your faith in the infernal gods because they were good to you. You put your faith in me and the Gavels because we are good to you. I need you to put your faith in yourself because I have seen you make very good decisions when you trust your heart. Okay? And also, I need to prepare for this infiltration. Can we continue this conversation later?
Mockery, I have to say he half interprets that correctly, half interprets that wrongly, and he still look a bit downtrodden and would nod to that, like he had upset you in some way. But he does look at himself too, like thinking, considering, understanding, and that'll be Mockery.
Perfect. Are you guys all healed up and ready to go?
Yeah. Did we use all 3 of the 10-minute intervals, or did we just use 2?
Two so far.
I think I'll use my last one on 3 wins on Mockery. So I crit succeeded on the second one, so I'm all set. Alright. Mockery, that's 17 for you.
Okay.
I unfortunately don't really have anything I can do with the last 10 minutes. Maybe I can just keep an eye out for things going on around us.
Did someone try treat wounds on you, Will?
Did someone? I think Belric gave me the apothecary.
Oh, okay, but that's not treat wound, so I'll
I don't
give
think
you
so.
that. Yeah, I'll try that.
Thank you.
So, well, I'll just do the basic version. I don't trust myself to roll very high.
I can treat wounds on someone as well a third time.
Oh, yeah.
I think I'm the only one still really missing any significant amount of hit points. I guess Mockery is
What's
still
your-
I'm not doing. I mean, I'm at 79 on 136, so
You
I'm.
may want to treat it yourself if you have.
Oh, my bad. Sorry, I didn't scroll up high enough.
I've treated myself, and then I treated
Okay.
then I treated Mockery, and then I gave out my apothecary. So
Mhm.
I could use a treat wound, but I'm also a range fighter, so.
Oh, be right back.
Oh yeah, maybe
What's your modifier for medicine?
I use nature, which is plus 20. So
Oh yes,
Gonna-
please
Yeah,
take care of
yeah.
Will instead of me.
yeah.
Instead of me taking care of him.
Will has glass bones and paper skin. Every day when I wake up in the morning, I break my arms, and then every night when I go to sleep, I break my legs.
We look good doing it though.
Yes.
I may have had the wrong person targeted.
No, I think that works.
Oh okay.
You did appear to be targeting Mockery for the last one, but I mean, I think I can take the healing if I just click
Okay.
spell, right?
Yep. Cool.
Thank you.
Perfect.
It's not even that my hit points are that much lower than everybody else. It's just that my AC is low.
Okay, and then as we're getting ready to head out, two things. First, I will just close my eyes and check up on the status of the other teams, as in like the few people who I cast status on. Are they generally alive?
Definitely. You see that all of them, because with status, it just gives you an indication if they're alive or not, right?
Yeah, alive and technically conditions. Like if
Okay.
they're blinded or something.
Yeah. So you see that the Adamantium Renegades alive. Give me an insight check. Or, give me an insight, sense motive check. You can just roll perception as rolled open too.
Yeah.
Yeah. You kind of check through your bonds. You kind of feel kind of the spark of their flames across the island of Kata. First, you feel the Griffins. They seem to be like, you feel some stress amongst their members, and not like some of them like are kind of like sporting like some minor wounds, nothing like major, just a little bit of stress. Definitely, this is you're behind enemy lines. This is a big job. The Adamantium Renegades, you feel them. They are all very good health. You sense stress there, but you also feel a bit of greed with them. Like they're greed and itching for a fight.
Oh, I wonder. Well, I shouldn't say it until I receive a sending, but there's a chance that the general is on the western shore. Yes. Yeah. Okay, but let's not jinx it yet. Okay, before we head out, one last ace up my sleeve. Let's do this. The giants, they speak to each other in Jotun, yes.
That's right.
All right, for 1 hour, for all of us here, fourth rank casting, Jotun.
Perfect. How does that magic look for G?
Okay, so for him, what it's doing is it puts Draconic as like an intermediary universal language for everyone, so that when they speak, it like sort of, if you're really paying attention to it, you can hear the Draconic notes come out, and then like to the other person who's hearing Jotun, the Draconic gets translated into Jotun. So that's how it works for G.
Perfect. And that gets everybody. So you guys all feel that magic flowing through you. It's giving you the The intricacies to understand the language of Yoden and
Huge.
doesn't give you hey, reading too, yeah. So you guys can see and understand kind of how the words are shaped, how they kind of they're spoken, and just have that intrinsic knowledge in your head. Sweet. So you guys are ready. One question I do have before you all leave. Are you this would be your chance if you wanted to do Brolos gold mission. Is that something that's the group would be considering?
I suddenly feel less confident. Maybe
Nah, I
if
feel like
do-
we got this.
I'm sorry. Can we list the things that we need to do while we're here? So I want to open up the journal, look at the quest log. We need to rescue the Duke's wife. Also rescue his father.
Nope.
Rolo's.
Well, you're just responsible for Persiana.
Persiana Royce. And then the Renegades are doing Papa Royce, and then the Griffins are doing the elite strike force. So our only mission is to extract the princess.
Oh, okay.
And,
That's
and
the
then
only
there's
thing you have to do.
and then we have two side quests to pee on the Infernal Gods statues, and then I would pee on Shinzo's statue if we do it. And then the second one would be Brolo's sort of thing, which
Okay.
And
So
There's also
for
a
the
third, but it sounds like I think you
general.
guys turned that down last time. Is if you find General Anka,
oh yeah,
we offered you 3,000 gold pieces to take him out. A little head hunting. Go on some
I mean,
faction. Oh,
we could do that, but I'm scared.
I feel like
Be here.
yeah, priority one. Let's stick to the main quest, but yeah, like maybe one of these things we kind of happenstance onto. I don't know.
Maybe we can grab the gold on the way back.
Once we get the wife, we go to a place where there's a teleportation circle that we activate and teleport out.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like once we get her, it'll be kind of a mad dash to get out with a bunch of
That's
people
true.
chasing us.
We're unlikely.
But
if you wanted the
the-
gold, this would be your only chance to get the gold. And probably, I
Yeah.
mean, you could bring the wife to deface the statues, but at that point, why?
somewhat uncharacteristic, Wisteria will say, whatever Jeet decides for this, I'll support.
Oh. Wait, what?
We don't have a lot of time. We need to make a decision.
We go for the wife.
That's my vote as well.
All right, let's go.
Perfect. Well, we're diving into the infiltration piece of this. So, quick reminder for the pieces: 20 AP awareness points, pretty bad. That's where the mission will end. Each 5, a challenge will occur, with 5 and 15 increasing the DCs for the checks. The way this will be, there will be, and then if you guys get stumped, I can kind of give you the different skills that'll be on it, but I kind of encourage you guys just to kind of RP and think what skills would be good for some of these obstacles that you come across. Some of the skills may be easier than others, some more challenging. This kind of depends on what you guys think on that side. With this, I'll give you the static DC too of the base, with some of them being easier, which 2 points lower, some of them being harder, 2 points higher, but the base will be 27.
Also,
Any questions before we kick it off?
just as a reminder, if anybody needs to reference it again, the current objectives tab in my Google Doc, I have all those things we just talked about.
Nice.
With the merchant stash crossed out.
Probably cross out War Chief Tanaka. I think you guys were against that one.
I mean, we'll see what
We
opportunities.
got killed by some chimeras. So
And I think I told you last time, I can't remember if I did or not, but he would be an extreme counter, just by him.
yeah,
by
it would be very. You told us he would be very, very difficult to fight. So if we can't
It's like-
handle 2 chimeras and a rock, then I don't think we can handle that.
maybe if we're confident Persiana is safe and we see him and the renegades are there to back us up at the same time, we go for it.
Yeah.
Other than that.
Okay.
Oh, and also, don't forget you guys have 2 EP points too. I forgot what they stand for, but basically what they do is if you fail or crit fail a check, you can use one of those and describe how your contact that you made with one of the workers that have been trapped upon Kata, or what was the other one that you guys got?
I have gossip written next to it. I think it was Will was like listening in on gossip or something.
Oh yeah, kind of learning kind of a little bit more about the lay of the land, how they got the Giants patrol, and just kind of just different tales that the refugees spun. So if you can make either of those 2 apply, you'll basically get to kind of move on from that one without having to take that failure or crit failure.
Okay.
Just for my curiosity, we can Mockery and I can be wearing our armor underneath our disguises. That's fine.
You guys are looking bulky, but yeah, you were able to put on some of the laborers' outfits and.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. I'll be just behind Wisteria and Will.
We're prisoners.
Will is magically disguising himself as a Reaver, and then you're restyling my outfit, but otherwise I'm myself, and then y'all are prisoners, is the plan?
Yeah.
Right, let's hope this works.
Ideally, I would hope to just not be seen at all, but I don't know.
Who are the prisoners? Me and Mockery?
NG.
Okay.
Perfect. You guys march down. Will, Wisteria, guised as Orcish Reavers of Tawa, kind of marching down the streets, trying to evade notice. The first thing that you start to come across, you see in the distance this manticore kind of patrolling the streets, sniffing, its tails kind of flicking wildly behind it. You kind of see it each step kind of just inhaling in the air, almost following the path that you all took to the safe house. You see it sniffing, it's coming along your path. How do you all react?
Is it disguise time?
I mean, I'll look out for a nearby area where we can quickly like duck into the shadows and get out of its line of sight, and maybe an area where there's like some smoldering ash or something where the smell of smoke will just disguise our sense as well. And kind of guide the party to any spot like that I can find.
Right. I think a stealth approach is better against a manticore in particular because
The manticore is behind us, right? Is that on our trail? Is that right?
It is following your trail.
Okay. So maybe like find a spot like I described to let it pass. I'm concerned about if it just is using smell more than sight and just follows us.
We just need to cut a couple of alleys so that it loses our scent, or if we can find something rancid enough to overpower our scent.
And is there anywhere like kind of not too far out of the way where we see one of the corpses of the chimeras that we kill, where we can like pass by that and maybe like the rotting corpse of that will throw it off our scent? Or would that?
You could. It's not rotting, but you could definitely try to kind of use some deception and make a hard check to throw it off your scent.
what do we roll to roll around in chimera blood?
So is that the play? You guys are going to try to use kind of double back through the chimeras, kind of using that to deceive the creature, throw it off your trail?
That's the only thing I can think of. I don't think a disguise is going to work against a creature like this.
Would this be like everybody rolling deception?
This would be one person.
Gotcha.
Give me a deception check, Wilster.
All right.
Maybe I can do it.
Yeah, Will, you want to take the lead here?
Sure.
I'll maybe kind of explain my idea to you and see if you can.
Yeah, I'm good at this. Should I make it a secret?
I roll open.
Okay.
Solid. You're able
Gamer.
to kind of maneuver the group or through kind of the body of the chimera using some of its fur and feathers to kind of just disguise your scent, gathering them up and just deceiving the creature. You see the chimera kind of eventually fade into the distance, following. You kind of see it just nose in the air as it tries to regain that trail, but fails as you guys are able to maneuver further into the city, getting closer to the edge and the giant war camp. So you guys are able to get through that one. No awareness points gained. As you guys are going through, you see the next thing that kind of throws a little bit of trouble into your plans as you're able to maneuver through the rest of the city fairly easily. The streets are deserted. It's quiet outside of some of the giant patrols, which you guys are able to avoid. But one of the things that catches your eye as you get near the end, it seems the giants have restored the city gates and even added some additional height to them. You see that the city gates are bared 50 feet high and are just locked and barred. What do you guys do?
Do we see guards?
You haven't seen any guards around them.
50, damn it. That might be just higher. Hold on. Let me check. I can get us up to 40 feet up there, but it'll be very conspicuous.
I mean, 40 feet upstairs and then climbing the last 10 feet doesn't sound like a disastrous idea, but you said it's very conspicuous.
Yeah, there's no way to keep this hidden.
I'm a fairly good climber for a dwarf, and I'm sure we have enough rope between the 5 of us.
If we were able to get to the other side, would we be able to open it easily from that side, or is that something we won't know until we get over there?
You wouldn't be able to open the gate, but you do see chains and kind of around the gate, as well as a lock on this side.
I see.
So, as long as we can get in, we just, after the words, we just have to get to the bank. So, getting in
Well,
is
like, just if one of us gets in, that doesn't immediately solve the problem for everyone, I think.
Okay.
and if they aren't keeping watch here, then we can just do this, and then either myself or Belric can be the lead climber and pull everyone else over. But then it's a matter of a 50-foot drop on the other side.
I have 2 potions of flying, if which will get 2 of us over if we want to use those.
Maybe someone who's good at lockpicking?
Yeah, how high up is the lock?
Yeah, the lock is accessible on this side.
Okay.
You probably have to climb a little bit, but not anything that would require a check.
Okay, regardless of our plan, I think I would like to try that just to unlock it. I'm just nervous that moving those big chains and opening up the door will be kind of noticeable.
It'll create noise, yeah.
Do we have grapples? Grapples, maybe?
I have on my purchase list a grapple bolt, but I keep forgetting to buy one when they're available, so I don't have one right now.
Your purchase list. I hear one more time about this purchase list.
All right. So, what I think is, I can create the steps, and everyone give me all of the rope that you have, right? So we'll all go up there. I'll climb up, let down a small piece of rope on this side, and up on the other side, so we can then climb down the other side. Hope no one's noticing. Fingers crossed. Otherwise, I don't know. Otherwise, flight is our best option.
How conspicuous is the stairs?
Very. Like, visually, because it's on the outside, as long as no one's keeping guard on the outside, it doesn't matter because it will create noise. So opening the gates would create noise.
Yeah.
So if there's no one keeping the watch on the outside, it's fine. If there's anyone at all, it's very obvious.
It kind of depends if you guys think it's more noticeable to kind of open the gates or put a 40-foot stairs magically in. It's your guys' choice.
To me, we had a manticore on our tail, right? So we know that. I mean, we lost it.
You guys have shook him. Yeah, you shook him. So
okay.
But you do know that there are, like you'll see around, there are giant patrols that you've heard throughout this.
Is there any possible route that we can see for non-giant people? Like maybe a secret passageway on the side of the gates?
It looks like the giants have kind of secured down the city. They don't want little people passing without being noticed.
Why don't we? Safest thing to me would be flight potion, get up there, drop a rope, climb it, throw the rope over, climb down. That way there's no stairs. It's easy for us to get up. I don't know. That would, to me, seems like but then we'd have to burn a flight potion. But
that works for me. We only have 2, and this seems like an ideal case where only one person can use it and still affect the whole group.
I can fly with a focus point for a few seconds.
I like that idea. Much cheaper.
All right, Will, are you flying up there?
Sure, give me the rope.
Right.
I've got 50 feet of rope. I'll throw to you.
All right, cool. And I'm also like the worst climber, so maybe it's better if I don't have to worry about that. Yeah, so I'm gonna cast Angelic Wings. It doesn't last very long, but it's like it's enough to get to the top of a wall.
Oh yeah,
I
you're
think.
good. Yeah.
Oh, it lasts a minute now.
Now it's a minute.
Neat. I didn't know that. Cool. So yeah, a stealth check for me. All right. Cool. I'm not very good at that. I'm not the worst on planet Earth.
I mean, it's not suspicious. The Readers of Tau always have had wings. They fly around all the time.
Angelic wings, probably.
Perfectly normal.
That's a good roll.
Just enough. You're able to get through angelic wings flying behind your back, letting the rope down on the one side and getting yourself down the other side without being seen. Climbers, you all are up next, getting just over the hoof on this side. This will be a easier athletics check, or if you've got another option, spring it on me.
Yeah, I'll do athletics, and if anyone wants to, they can also try follow the expert.
So we follow the expert. What do we do for that?
You probably won't need it, Mockery. Or you can't probably use it, now that I think about it. But what it does is it allows, I forgot what it is, a portion of the proficiency for those who are untrained in it.
I see.
Okay, follow the expert. Yeah, so you can add your level as proficiency to the associated skill check if you're untrained. And you gain, whether or not you're adding your level, you gain a circumstance bonus to the skill check, which here is +3 because I'm master.
Oh, nice. I forgot that the circumstance bonus. So, Mockery, you could follow the expert there, and you probably need to.
Oh, yeah, let's do that.
All right. Jeet, Belric, and Wisteria. Solid. Jeet, nice. Belric, that. So, Jeet, for Belric, you didn't need any help on that side. You just like you've been on the crow's nest and the ship lately. You're used to climbing. Jeet, how did your expert advice kind of help both Mockery, surprisingly Mockery on this side, as well as Wisteria get over the hump without being noticed?
He is being the lead climber, and he has a rope attached, like from his waist down to the others. So whenever anyone starts shaking, he's just there to stabilize them. It's okay. I got you. Just get a firm gripping to just shake it off. Wrap some cloth around your hands and then go up the rope again.
Thanks for always being there.
She's able to get you guys across through without drawing any additional awareness to the group. You find yourselves outside the city of Kata. You see in the distance this, probably monstrosity is the right word, this clearly foreign fort that has been built upon the Cotton land. You see it is giant size. Like Kata is a kind of metropolis. You saw that there were tall buildings, towers. You saw the castle itself looming in the distance. But this thing, right, it's fresh built, mostly wood mixed with some stones and other kind of quick build technology, but it is enormous. It rivals the size of the castle. You see workers, kind of like small humanoid workers, kind of going through, performing tasks in the fields around it. You see giants patrolling. You see this is the fort they've established on their newly claimed land of Kata, and where you need to make your way towards.
Quick question.
Mhm.
Is Duke Royce's father or the Talons, I think,
Mhm.
the elite force, are they housed in the same area? Or are they?
The Duke or the Baron is the father. He is like kind of a mix up my directions. They're west, yeah. Baron's western. You guys are eastern. Same fort. The Talons are located within the city of Kata. They're kind of like they have their own special kind of detainee center within the city that the Giants have kept them cashed into.
So there's potential that we may cross paths with the Renegades at some point.
You could cross paths potentially with the Renegades.
Okay. I was just curious. It's like the proximity, so thanks.
Perfect. So you guys have made your way through the city. One of the things you see is there's just dozens of different work groups with these battered, beaten down humanoids, some digging ditches and like almost forming a moat around the fort, others moving heavy materials kind of to and fro. Looks like pieces of the city of Kata. You see a lot of the different marble and kind of stones that have built up the monuments and the things that have made Kata kind of an artistic wonder, are using them to reinforce sections of this giant fort. But one of the things you notice too, a little bit in the distance, and see these different workers, you see that Cheshire smile form in the darkness. And you kind of like, you hear whispering, but you can't make out what it is. But you see some of the workers turn towards you, a glow in their mouth, a sickly orange, very similar to what you've seen from Will, Wisteria. Tongues marked Shinzo, and them staring at you intently. Some of them kind of leaving their work groups and heading towards you. You hear a voice go, "I told them if they can get you, I'll set them free. Have fun, guys."
Great.
This is the group challenge. You see that these beat down workers, some of them definitely kind of not famished, probably the best word. They are turning their gaze towards you, lifting some of their the work materials they have, some hefting chunks of marble, some hefting the crowbars, and they are coming at you and trying to subdue you, but they're trying to subdue you without drawing the attention of the giants. You notice they're coming quietly, they're moving slowly, they're not trying to get you without getting the giants on their asses. This will be a group check. How do you guys and this will be each of you have your own individual path you can take, but how do you all handle this obstacle coming your way?
I think Will would go for the scare tactic. Like, they believe that they can capture us and get free. I want to convince them that that's not going to work. By just not doing anything like, hopefully not anything too flashy, but just like a flash of magic, like a show of power. Perhaps like cast light on myself. Something to show them like, hey, you don't want to mess with us, without like casting some spell that like explodes.
Perfect. Give me your choice of intimidation, or if you'd like to use religion with that light coming through.
It's going to be intimidation for me. I'm just going to say to them, listen, y'all, I understand, but trust me, you don't want this fight. And my eyes glow, and my wings, which are still here for like a few more seconds, just like expand out to make myself look bigger, like some sort of predator. And I'm going to do intimidation.
Perfect. This is a base 27.
Nice. Cool.
Solid.
Nice.
You see some of the civilians backing away, covering their eyes from their glow, seeking to avoid you as you're able to make your way through. What are the rest of you doing?
I'm fast and I'm small. I am going to try to maneuver around them without them seeing me with stealth.
Okay. This will be a hard check. So this will be a DC 29, but give me a roll.
All right.
Nice, just enough. You guys are looking at you. How do you like get fast and small and like evade their notice?
I'll start off and I'll just kind of like dash behind maybe like Jeet and Mockery, and then maybe they'll like lose me a little bit, and then yeah, just kind of like bolting like super quick, like just kind of using like this agility that I've gotten, especially like I perfected on the ship going up and down. Again, just like going between things. There's a Will says something over here and does an intimidation thing, and half the folks look, so I know like this is my time to go, and yeah, I just sneak past everyone.
Perfect. You sneak past those guys with them focusing, some shying away from the Aasimar, and others looking at the remaining three. Jeet, Wisteria, Mockery, what do you all do?
Okay, so while I still have it, I would like to attempt this flavor this athletics check with my whirling throw feat. So I am trying to just shove, trip, and then like grab and send fly these people. So not hurting them on purpose, but just making myself seem like a big bully, and just shoving them around.
Perfect. This will be the on level, so give me a DC 27. Gee, you were like, you were just smashing through these people, hurling them through. I assume causing no lasting harm to these people.
Yeah, just making myself big and threatening, and showing that off with my power. That I don't even have to hurt you. I can just push you aside.
Some of them try like to pull you down, but you push them aside, moving through, and just keep barreling in. 3 of you have gotten through pretty much unscathed. Mockery, Wisteria, what do you two do?
I think I'm going to follow Belrick's lead, and while Jeet is distracting them with his maneuvers, stick to the shadows and kind of lose them in all the wreckage and movement going on around here.
Perfect. Give me a stealth check, DC 29. Solid. Yeah. You were able. How does Wisteria? You were able to lose yourself in the shadows, with many of the people looking at Jeet like football, like Hall of Faming through these workers and refugees getting in. And you were able to get yourself successfully through. Mockery, you are the last one. Can you bring it in without being noticed?
All right. Uh, can Mockery really, really lean into his disguise, trying to make it seem as though he is completely separate from the Gavels, completely separate from anything else that these individuals are trying to chase down?
Yeah, definitely. So that would be kind of similar. It would be a hard deception check, but you could definitely do so.
Of course. Gonna go for it.
Use
I'm
a
gonna
hero point,
use
I
my
assume?
hero point.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. All right.
Well, damn. We go
Oh.
with the better one for the hero point, right?
Either way, it's a crit fail.
Oh no.
You guys
I'm
do
sorry.
have 2 EP. Do you want to
Is
use
that-
them?
It's a crit fail on a 19?
You had a hard, so it would have been 29.
Oh, okay.
Yes, we
Feels
can
like
use
an EP is the right way to go here.
Yeah, we can have one of our contacts.
You guys did make contacts with one of the workers. How does this worker that you guys made a contact help Mockery get through when his disguise fails?
Oh, this could be funny. Sorry.
I have an idea. What if like suddenly a person like appears like from inside like one of the half destroyed buildings as like in as people are like sort of like closing in on Mockery, they're like, psst, psst, come here, this way. And Mockery dives into the building, and then like as the people start to chase after him, this other person sort of just like collapses like a beam or something, and like just like makes a like breaks their line of sight with by just like pushing some like rubble over, and like they all lose track of where Mockery is as they're chasing him.
Perfect. They're able to the contact. You see this battered, beaten down Thessian man, kind of olive complexion skin that seems like it's just been out in the sun for far too long. Mockery, he just gives you kind of a single nod, pats your back, and says, "Glory to the Duke and the Baron." And you may be on mute if you're talking.
No, I'm just trying to figure out how to react to that. That's like, I'm sorry to bring this up. That's like the first time I ever heard a guard in Skyrim go, hey, hail Sithis. I had the same reaction of like stopping, turning, and just jaw agape like, what? What did you say?
You see, he kind of just gives you a firm nod, and you see him kind of you see like he's standing tall, proud, and then you see as he starts to walk away, you see him like almost hunches, like not hunch as like he's beaten down, but almost like he's trying to portray that he is beaten down, and not somebody to pay attention to as he kind of disappears back into the city center. With you guys using one of your EP points, getting through the first round of this infiltration. With that, round one is done. Each round, the thing does go up by 1. So you guys were at a 4 before. That is going to bump you up to a 5 and a complication. But what we're going to do is, it's been a little bit past our break time. We're going to take a quick break, 5 minutes left. Then we'll come back, go to the complication, get into round 2 of 4 for the infiltration, and see if you guys are able to rescue the Duchess Persiana. So everybody join us back about 5 minutes. All right, welcome back, everyone, to part 2 of session 17. The crew has just completed their first round of infiltration, doing actually pretty well, very well with the objectives coming up. They've been rolling hot so far, but with the round advancing, the clock hitting 5, the DC is going to go up by 1. You're also going to get a complication. So as you all kind of maneuver through, kind of getting away from the city's edge, away from these workers who have taken notice of you, you do see a giant riding a mammoth approach you. You see this giant. He is decked out in this almost bone-like armor. It looks like he's taken it from some massive beast and clad this almost heavyish style armor. You see he has this massive spear kind of slung over his back. His skin is stone-like as he looks at you all riding the mammoth, and you hear it bellow out. You hear that kind of that draconic tone as it comes into your mind as Jeet's magic translates for you, and it goes, "Reavers, why are you here? You should be by water. You don't have free reign here, little men."
Oh no.
I look to Will.
Will doing his best Reaver impression that he can. Just gonna lie. He's gonna point at the 3 prisoners that we're escorting and say, "These ones were chosen to be brought inside. I don't know what for."
All right, give me a deception check, Will. This will be on level DC 28. You hit it right on the mark. You see, he looks at it and you see him like spit, and you see like this glob of spit that like almost feels a bit like rain as he spits on the ground. And he goes, "Fine, little men take little prisoners. Go now, go quick. Or one after all, or the other."
I give him a dirty look, but I keep going. Still pretending to be a Reaver, so I have some orc pride that I'm like, call me little.
Definitely a very Reaver reaction to that, as you guys are able to kind of leave this giant riding a mammoth patrol, clearing the complication, and getting into the next phase of the infiltration. Ahead of you, you see this war camp, just kind of arrayed in the distance, workers digging moats as they kind of prepare, kind of continuing to prepare and reinforce their position in this new fortress they are building upon Kazia. You are the first thing you all notice as you kind of start to maneuver through the workers and get closer to the fort itself. You see this kind of guard station with these mixture of giants along with manticores kind of patrolling through. It looks like they are signing out positions, kind of work to the workers. You see them going through, examining the work they've done, assigning them new tasks, but keeping a watchful eye over everyone that kind of goes near or from the fort. What do you guys do?
Is go around an option?
You could try to go around and see if you wanted to scale, kind of try to scale the walls for the fort.
Jeet whispers to Wisteria, and this is not a solution, in fact, this may be a complication. But he says, Wisteria, if you see any structural reinforcements that they're doing, any place that we could do sabotage, And if I could help out in any kind of way, let me know.
Yeah, I mean, at least the way I'm picturing this construction, especially done by unwilling humans, is that it's kind of ramshackle, but still like strong for the giants. So do I spot anywhere that looks like it might be a weak point where some carefully applied magic might cause a distraction that lets us pass by?
Definitely, and I will say it's not ramshackle. It is, a lot of it's being done by the humans, but the giants are pretty closely quality inspecting the work. But there, you could definitely see. Give me a perception check and see if you can kind of notice an area where there may be.
Nice.
Perfect. You look through, and it looks like they are kind of reinforcing a spot kind of on the eastern wall. And you realize that it looks like that work crew is tired. You see them kind of pulling, kind of with this lever pulley system, this massive block of marble, trying to increase and kind of just strengthen the palisades behind. Good distraction there. Clever bit of magic. Could provide a distraction for the group.
I'll point that out to G.
Okay, I see what you mean. Yes, and we can, I can work something with that. That's not what I meant, but that's okay. I think I was thinking too far ahead into the point when, in the future, when we'll be besieging this fort. But that's okay. We can just get past this, and that is good enough. We will think about other forms of sabotage another time.
Do you guys want to take some time and try to find some areas where you could
I've never seen Jeet so happy about it. So yeah, let's do whatever Jeet wants there.
I mean, no. For this one, I am taking us like really off course, and risking more awareness points. This needs to be like other people need to see it, want to do it.
I just got back. What's happening?
Jeet's thinking of sabotaging some stuff and making some kind of preparing for the eventual siege of this fort, trying to build some weaknesses in that the group can exploit when they come back.
Oh, that's a good plan.
It's a good plan. It's also a dangerous plan, right? We have a mission. We have a main quest right now.
Well, speaking of sabotage, if we're focusing on sabotaging things, would it be possible for Mockery to split off and quote-unquote sabotage those infernal statues?
You guys are no longer in the city.
God.
Valoric would be very keen on eyes on the prize. Let's get for Sonya out. But I mean, I always like Jeet's kind of the person that I always look to for. He's my leader, right? So I could be swayed if other folks are interested in that.
I think the way we get through here is just by utilizing our disguises. I think that's really the only way to get through here without doing something crazy. I mean, it also feels crazy to be doing that, but hey,
I mean, it seems like seems like a good combo if we were to use the magic and then use our here's some magic, create the distraction, and then just like go in with our disguises. Like that seems ideal, in my opinion. But
yeah. Let's do that. Sorry, I think I got greedy.
Well, I wonder if the Duke would rather have his wife saved or have his city taken back. If our sabotaging here means the difference between success or failure later, but risks not achieving our current mission.
Belric asked, "Where's Wisteria's mark of Shinzo?"
Sailor Tom.
Belric is going to ask Jeet to show him his tongue. To be like, why are you wanting to do this? Are you also trying to create chaos? I understand Wisteria. I understand, but You'll say that a little bit in jest, but also like, eyes on the prize. What are we doing?
No, you are right. You are right. We do not even know from which angle the Duke plans to attack our work here. Could be putting our mission in jeopardy for no good reason. So yes, let's continue. I can. My spells don't have a good range. I assume if you have your bow still, Belric, that you are maybe the best person to try and shoot down the rope that's holding this big stone up.
I do have a flaming short bow. So yeah, like either I could start something on fire that's wooden, or yeah, I could shoot that down with some precision.
What are the odds that there's a barrel of pitch nearby for the construction?
No pitch, but you could definitely, it kind of depends on how you all want to do it. And I'll lay out the DCs for how you guys want to do it. You could definitely shoot it through. That one's going to be on level, so that'll be a DC 28 for it. If you've got some magic or something way to do it discreetly, that'll be an easy one, so DC 26. Because they'll see an arrow eventually, and then they'll be a little concerned, but with magic, that could just be some poor unfortunate circumstances, make it a little easier to get off without awareness being raised.
I'm sure we could use some assists or something there, right, other folks?
I don't have any subtle damage spells.
You have telekinetic projectile, right?
Oh, I do. That's
Yeah.
true.
Probably. Yeah, it's more subtle than all my stuff, which is just like
That
fire,
is
fire,
true.
fire.
So that leaves less evidence that we were here, but Belric is more accurate than I am. With his
So yeah, you guys
bow.
have the choice there. It'd be DC 26 from Will, DC 28 from Belric.
Can I mark it as hunted prey, or is that only humanoids or like people?
I think that is just humanoids, so you would better mark the rope, unfortunately. Let me make sure
Knowing-
that
Creature, yeah.
creatures, yeah.
Just throwing out options, knowing that Will is not, as accurate as us practice archers, could I like line up the shot and kind of, test the wind and point out and do like an attack roll as an aid for Will to make a roll?
Good.
Okay. I don't know what that.
Quickly, just real super quick. What is your attack bonus?
Mine is, or Belric,
Either one. I think they're the same, right?
probably. I'm 18.
19.
Mine is 18 because of my staff.
I'm
So
19, and then if I have Hunter's Aim, that gives me an extra 2, so that'll give me 21. That's what.
So
All right. So I think it is actually better for me to do it.
yeah,
If I.
Slightly.
Okay. Yeah. And then my aid might make it even.
Yeah.
So I'll
Yeah, let's do that.
go ahead and make an attack roll to aid. I don't remember what the DC is though.
Perfect.
Oh.
Did I get you
Oh,
a
targeting
plus
mockery.
2 to your roll?
I get a +2, you said?
Mhm.
Eat. How do I do...
You should under your proficiencies or maybe under spells. There should be like a spell attack roll you can just click.
Yeah, I'm like trying to figure out how to add the bonus to it.
Oh, we can do that. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna like pick up, I don't know, nearby there's like a sickle laying down. I just like pick it up, toss it at the rope. Oof. Dang. I rolled a 6. So that is going to be a miss on that.
you have a hero point.
I do have a hero point. Pretty high chance that I roll higher.
Let's do it.
Go for it. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. I think that
That's
does
it.
it.
That's what we needed.
That's what you needed.
That's what we needed. Nice.
You're able to send the tool flying through, cutting through this rope, sending this massive block of marble crashing to the ground. Giants are yelling in Jotun. You hear it go, "Stupid small folk! You lift better! And you see them yelling at these poor workers, but they cause enough of a distraction that you are able to sneak past this guard station without them being any the wiser. Bringing you within this giant fort, you see, looking around within it, just dozens and dozens and dozens of different tents and structures kind of built to house these giants. And tent is probably a weird word for you guys to describe it because these things look massive. They look like it could easily fit the gavels all inside of one of these and it feels spacious and roomy. Within it, even if you brought Bear, Red, and Hyena in with you as well.
Like circus tent size?
Pretty much. And you see kind of stationed around just rows and rows upon these. And you hear, or almost feel, a bit of like rage. You feel fury in your heart. You feel, or you hear the beat of drums, of war drums, just beating rapidly, rapidly, rapidly. Your heart beats alongside them. You hear a horn bellow, but you look around and you don't see any of the giants or the other monsters or creatures within this fort reacting to the beat of the drum or the bellow of the horn. But you do start to see runes begin filling up near your steps, just like popping in here, there, here, there, here, there. You see these runes glowing with a fiendish fire, with hellfire burning amongst them. You see the mark of Rog, and you hear traitors die. You see one of the runes just rise up, and you see an explosion go off, but it doesn't burn you. It doesn't touch you. Nobody else seems to notice it, but you see that explosion go off, almost as if a fireball was launched. But you see the other runes are still on the ground, untouched. Rog's symbol, who burned amongst them, lining the path between you and the fortress. What do y'all do? And this will be a 3 IP solve for it. This could be chosen by individually, but there'll likely need to be more than one person attempting, or actually there won't need to be more than one person attempting to solve it.
I have a third rank.
Basically, we are looking at what appears to be a minefield of magical runes. Am I interpreting that correctly?
Correctly.
All right.
You
What's
see
the roll
giants
for
on them?
tiptoe?
And not having them explode, but not sure if that would work for you.
Wait, say that again.
You see giants, mammoths, and other creatures kind of maneuvering through this minefield, and they don't seem to be exploding. But
Yeah, this is Rog. God, listen.
Yeah, what's the the roll for tiptoeing? What skill do you use to do that?
that would probably be acrobatics.
I would like, after hearing that, I would like, there's been some there's certainly been like a lot of angst between me and Mockery and everyone with the Shinzo things, right? Like, I don't like I never liked the Infernal Gods, but like, I'd have a little bit, would look at Mockery with a little bit of sympathy here, because it seems like he was being kind of targeted with that expression there.
Oh, hey, I just remembered a thing. I said there's not really anything I can do in these last 10 minutes. But actually there was. Could I have refocused during that time?
Yeah, we'll give it to you. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Typically we don't do retcons, we'll give that one to you. But
Just gonna
Oh,
gain 1 focus
Sheik,
point.
give me a religion check. This would be at level, but when you casting a spell, give yourself a +2 circumstance bonus.
Okay. Those these two. Add. Roll. Yes.
Nice. Did you have the plus? Oh, you did have the +2. So
Yeah.
unfortunately, not a crit success, but you are able to go through. And how does that look as you kind of gather your own magics to weaken some of these runes and their hellfire?
Oh, this is Nars fire against the Hellfire. So, you know, fire beats fire. In this case, I'm just creating this aura of flames to go through the hell flames, the safe flames to go through the hell flames.
Perfect. That brings that down by 1 IP point, leaving you with 2 left. Mockery, though, I cut you off. What does Mockery say as Belric says that?
Mockery is just. You can see he looks genuinely deeply wounded and hurt looking at this minefield and regretful. And he looks to Belric and just gives a solemn nod as if Mockery feels as though he deserves this minefield. But then that look hardens as he looks to the rest of the Gavels. And again, it's clear and plain on his face. He does not believe the Gavels deserves having to go through and deal with this infernal influence.
Perfect.
The look that I gave him initially was like, again, like sympathetic. So after seeing that, I would say, don't blame yourself. Let's get through this. And then hopefully we would go back to hatching our plans.
Perfect. You guys still have 2 IP points necessary to clear this obstacle. What are you all thinking? One more cheats. But you know, that's on level. Yeah, it's just one away. Just one.
I think all I can really do is try to just be very careful with my steps and try to get through here without blowing anything up.
Give me an acrobatics check as you try to lead the group to a safe path using you're on mute, I think, G.
Oh no, sorry, I wasn't speaking yet. In that aura of the flames, so everyone else who's attempting the check, I'll just give them guidance on their check.
Okay.
If I'm leading the way, there are absolutely other people in the party who would be better than me at doing this.
I'll see you start to take a step, and I'm like, hold on, Will, maybe I should go first. And I'll try to move carefully between the rooms and figure out like a safe path to like lead the others through.
Unfortunately, I will say your attention is kind of all taken with your piece of it, so they will have to go through regular.
All right, so.
Oh,
Right.
sorry.
Nice. Wisteria, how do you kind of nimbly lead part through the minefield?
So I mean, I rolled acrobatics, but also I think she's kind of using some of her arcane knowledge to like look for this telltale signs of magic in an area that might not be present to others, to where there's like some runes are a little bit harder to see, or if she's like, oh, the area of effect or like sensory effect is a little bit bigger than what the glowing rune represents, and so moving around those, but also like one step at a time, showing each person exactly where to put their feet and move carefully to not disturb any of the stones that have runes on them.
Perfect. Earning you another infiltration point, bringing it down just to 1. What's the crew do for their final move to get through this?
I was about to say, Mockery, could using a lore skill be applicable here, or does it have to be one of the main core skills?
I would say it'd be harder for the lore skill to apply, but make your case and we'll see how it shakes out.
The lore skill of the infernal gods know how this kind of it's hard to quite call it a spell. This kind of curse, this kind of marring to a land would play out with Rog specifically. If there were stories about this, if this is something that the Hell Knights had in their capacity and have done to some of their more treacherous enemies to instill order.
You could definitely find information on that, but it wouldn't really help you get through it.
I see.
So it would be like aid to the person who.
Yeah, you could definitely give aid to somebody using that, yeah.
Alright, that's what I'll do. For the next person who does the next skill check, Infernal God Lore. And because this is for an aid roll, I get a +2 because, let me post it real fast.
Oh, no worries. Yeah, I can just roll with +2. Yeah, you got that null thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. I got nothing, man.
I'm trying to think too. I'm trying to figure out how I would equate nature to this, but I don't think like we're in a cityscape. I just don't see that happening. I've got great athletics. I could frickin' plow through here. I could do some.
Maybe we find a place to climb around it, over it. I don't know.
Or a big jump over one section.
Yeah. Or with the Mockery's aid, you could move like one of the key runes that are on this piece of stone.
Belric, I've been trying to save it. I have an inspired stratagem that can give you an advantage on a roll. So, but if that's once per day, so basically you get that once for the whole mission.
Yeah, I mean, if there's like a rune that we think that we can identify that is key to move, like I don't know, like what's the setting like? Is there like, are these runes just on the like scattered on the ground, or like is there something? Is there an obstacle I can push out of the way?
If you wanted to try to like quick hands and start moving some of these out of the way, you could try a thievery check.
Yeah, I think. All right, well, let's try that. So, I'll see. Like, yeah, whatever is the biggest obstacle, I'll try to use quick hands and move it out of the way. Using
Perfect. Thievery is actually the easy one for this one. So you get to DC 26 +2 from Mockery.
All right.
Nice. You're able to quick hands start going through and disabling some of these runes, utilizing kind of the fires that is kind of carved with Nar that war against this infernal magic to alight them, and then using kind of your own skills and knack of disabling things to bring them down. And you guys are able to move through this hellish runes without any fireballs emerging. You do hear the beating of the drums in your head intensify, and you hear this grunt and just this foul voice in your head barking at you almost. There will be other opportunities, traitors, dogged servants of Shinzo. And you made your way through that obstacle. Sweet. So yeah, you are able to kind of get through these hellish runes. You do see kind of in front of you as you kind of start maneuvering through this giant camp, rows and rows upon tents and people, giants, reavers, and others going to and fro. Mostly giants. You see very few reavers within, and typically escorted by a giant, but luckily none have stopped you or none have taken notice of you as you're making your way in. But one of the biggest things you do see is the fort itself, and this thing it's a wonder they've been able to construct it so quickly. This pinnacle, this fort with inside the walls, kind of the outside, this thing is huge. It almost is like a mini not even many. It's almost like a castle that has quickly been constructed by the giants. This does not seem to have the same kind of work as the other side, where they're using materials that could be kind of scavenged. This looks to be carefully constructed of stone, wood, and both, kind of holding up this dread fort in front of you. But the next obstacle you see is how best to make your way inside. You see there are windows very high up. You see there's a door kind of near the room, kind of a door, a large gate-like door in front of you. You kind of see there are numerous pathways you could attempt, but how does the Gavels want to make their way in?
I kind of want. I feel like this is a little bit of my time to shine. This has been crafted with stone and wood. As a dwarf, I'm, again, very familiar with stone, caves, those sorts of things. So I think I would like to, I think I could quickly observe, a quickly spun up thing like this, and determine if there's any weak points, or just again, just kind of understand the structural integrity. That window could be opened because, again, this was spun up relatively quickly. They certainly can't have reinforcements on that window. So I'm hoping I can make some sort of crafting check to determine if there's any weaknesses, or just, again, the integrity of the structure itself.
100%. And then don't you have something with dwarf stuff that gives you a bonus to stone rolls?
Yeah. Mountain strategy, I feel like. Or mountain stoutness. I don't know where it would be anymore.
Probably Stone Cunning itself. I don't know if they changed the name. They have changed the name.
May have. Defy the darkness, heal companion, avenging glory. Crafter's appraisal I have. That identifies magic. Eye for treasure.
I thought you had the stones cunning, but either way, give me a crafting check. This will be an easy one. So DC 26.
Okay. Sorry. Didn't see that grow. Wow. I'm rolling great.
Do you have your hero points?
Oh,
though?
shoot. Yes. Sorry, I thought I rolled 34. Yes, I'm going to use my hero point. Not rolling great at all.
Stone
I thought that
Mason.
was a sarcastic grade at first.
Alright, what was that? Stonemason's Eye?
That's the name of the feat, I think. You get the bonus for spotting.
But either way, that 30 is good enough. Yeah. Elric, you look through, and you do see, it's well constructed, but definitely hastily constructed. They put pride in this, but especially compared to an eye of a dwarf, there's flaws that can be exploited. And probably the biggest flaw that you see is one that somebody so big would not really take notice of. But you do see kind of a small gap within the stones that some could squeeze through to make their way in without drawing much notice. It's going to be a tight fit, a little bit easier for yourself than some of the others, but you guys could fit through.
A mockery could fit through?
Good. It's going to be a squeeze, but yeah.
Okay. I would relay that this was put up quickly and hastily, and I spot a area over there that we may be able to squeeze through.
Mockery does not seem confident he can squeeze. Just this big, heavy armored gnoll covered in horns and scales and fur, looking at this tiny little.
Yeah, most of us could squeeze through.
You all technically could fit through.
Yeah.
And I'll give you kind of this would be a group roll. So with that, the easy path, acrobatics, and kind of maneuvering through and kind of squeezing and contorting yourself in. Harder path, athletics, trying to just muscle your way through, pushing yourself in, kind of just raw muscling yourself in through this hole, hopefully going quick enough or hard enough that you just get in before you get stuck. And then the other one is open. So athletics will be the hard path. And then if you guys have another suggestion, we'll hear it and see if it kind of falls into that medium or hard method to get through. But yeah, are you guys? And that doesn't have to be the route you guys take in. There's other ways you can guys go in if you'd like to as well.
I'm okay with this.
This seems good to me. Can I apply soap to the nose?
You could definitely make that your aim.
Can I grease out Mockery?
Yeah.
How does that look?
Yeah.
I was looking around, like, do I have anything that would help with this? And I saw in my inventory I have soap. I mean, how does it look? And I pull out, I look at the hole, I look at Mockery. I was like, hold on a minute. I pull out my backpack, dig through it for a few minutes, pull out a bar of soap that's been in the bottom of it for the 6 months we've been hanging out together. I'm kidding. Will bathes.
He seemed like the one to bathe. Not at all.
Yeah. But I'm like, I look at the soap and I like, And I try to like just squeak it around on his armor. I'm like, would that help at all? Is this helping at all? Is this doing anything?
I'm not quite sure. Let me, how do I... As he's just trying to, like, angle himself in some way.
Oh.
The hooves aren't making this any easier.
Will, give me your choice of skills here that you think would fit as you soap up Mockery, and take a +2 circumstance bonus.
What the heck skill is gonna be used?
I was thinking crafting, maybe, or perception. Or crafting, survival, perception, probably.
Well,
Jeez.
perception I think is going to be the best one for me, so I'm going to do my very best. I critted. I crit soaped him.
You thoroughly soap up Mockery.
You soap him up so good, dude.
I feel like Will probably has like nice soaps too. He keeps with him traveling.
And for the next 3 hours or so, you're going to smell so good.
Which is actually not good for our disguises.
This is the best Mockery's ever smelled.
For Mockery, you will take a +2 circumstance bonus to your roll as you go through just soaped up and just. If you don't know offhand, but I feel like Will would have a signature scent. What is Will's? He seems like the type to have a signature scent.
Oh, you know what?
Kind of sad.
I always imagine it was honey.
Is that a cologne scent? I don't know. It feels like, yeah, sure, why not? Let's go with that.
You know, for the pun, honey.
I have a favorite candle scent. I don't have my own personal favorite cologne scent. And I don't know if they make this as a cologne. Do they make Applewood and Amber cologne? Probably.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
That apple. So yeah, Mockery smells of applewood and amber. Just walks around and is thoroughly soaked. Sweet. So you guys are able to begin making your way. You guys had merchandise. Belnu tried to offer that to you. He said, hey, you pay for it. But yeah, you guys group checks. Everybody will need to make a check here. How are you all getting through this?
I'm muscling through.
Deep muscles his way through. Heavy armor and all.
Wisteria will move carefully and with precision.
Perfect. Just enough.
Mockery, please. The floor is yours, my friend.
Well, now I'm gonna fail the thing.
No, we need Mockery needs to be next. We need Mockery through.
Right?
So it's acrobatics for squeezing, right?
Oh, so acrobatics is the easy method. Athletics is hard. You can make another play if you'd like to, and it can fall between medium or hard.
No, it's gonna be athletics for the hard one. That was not me who wrote there.
No,
No, that was me. I knew it.
at least let's see if your soaped up project gets through.
Athletics 26.
Was that what that is? Yeah. So, like, oh, well,
He gets stuck, and then I'm stuck behind him.
I just imagine that it's like he just gets like past his shoulders, like, oh yeah, this next part's going to be easy, and then like a horn that's been growing off of his armor or his back just gets caught, and he's just like trying to move without having it rip off.
Can't soap the horns. That's what I always say.
I do remember you saying that a bunch of times.
Cannot grease the horns. I'll try and yank. I don't know if I'll yank them out or I'm just gonna acrobatics through. Oh no!
Uh,
I have no hero points.
I can try to help.
This is a group check. So you've already got your crit fail, so you guys can't do worse than that. Luckily, as you guys are going through. Will, you soaped up Mockery well, but you guys try to go through at the same time. And you just kind of hear this clanking of armor and fur and horns scraping through the stone, just kind of like almost echoing through this stone fort, just creating quite a bit louder of a noise than you all intended, raising the awareness point. Unfortunately, by 2 with a crit fail, bringing you all to 7, and actually at the end of a round as well. So bringing you all to, as you all make your way, or made your way into this giant fort. Luckily, you guys did really good that round. I mean, 2 awareness points for the whole round isn't bad. So you guys are progressing through. You're on round 3 of 4. As you all are in the fort itself, as you look around this giant fort, you see kind of it's like utilitarianly, it's just like styled. Like there's really nothing of warmth within there. You see, like there are candles and lights and lanterns. You see that some of the floor is carpeted with pelts of mammoths and other creatures, but it's all very functional. There's nothing that screams like. It screams all about form or function over form, is what I'll say, as you look through this giant fort. The only thing that you see that really calls, or at least Belric, that calls out to you, is that there's a lot of kind of wood, a lot of like even some vines growing through certain spots. There's definitely kind of an intrinsic call or intrinsic draw to nature that you see within, but other than that, it is very practical, utilitarian, nothing really to identify the people within. But the hardest thing you guys feel, the next big obstacle that you come across, is how do we find where the Duchess is and kind of how best to navigate towards where she's being kept. So how would you guys go about that? Is kind of figuring out where best to move. She's on the eastern edge, eastern section of the fort. You're not exactly sure where you came in. How do you guys try to find your way?
We need someone who's very good with directions.
So, I mean, I did a lot of reading up on the giants on our way over here. I'm trying to think if I could, like, kind of intuit where the most practical place to keep prisoners would be. And also kind of based on our observations of the exterior, like, you probably want to keep them further away from exits rather than closer. And try to see if I can make a sense of, like, the architecture of the place with my knowledge of what I've read up on giants. If that would provide any aid.
So you're trying to use your giant lore to aid, you said?
Just to either giant lore or maybe society to try to like figure out where the best place would be and just start heading in and start leading the party in that direction.
You could definitely do a society for a hard check on that.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that.
Solid. Yeah, you
Oh,
go
wow,
through
nice.
kind of your readings with the giants, is kind of indicating kind of some of their safekeeping philosophies. You kind of find that, you know, that on the eastern edge, they like to keep some of their valuables near the interiors. It's kind of well within their walls and some of their fortresses. It kind of gives you a good general starting point to begin making your way out towards, letting you clear that obstacle and begin kind of maneuvering through this fort as you guys kind of evade giant patrols, evade some of the chimera and other beasts that lurk through within, and get closer to Persiana.
Imagine, like, as soon as we step in, Wisteria is like, yes, this place was built according to the guidelines of Gavelor the Elder, so it's a common motif in giant architecture history, and so naturally the prisoner cells will be on the lower floor on the third hallway on the left.
Great. Naturally.
As you all walk, though, one of the things you start to notice, you start to see the shadows dance. You start to see your shadows dance.
Son of a bitch.
You start to see your shadows smile back at you. You see your shadows begin to stretch around rooms and like shift from looking like you to looking like arrows. You see your shadows start pointing at you, stretching far beyond their usual reach, maneuvering through the fort, all spreading in different directions, but all their arrows, all 5 arrows pointed at a different member of the Gavels with a shadow that it belonged to.
Okay. It's time to do this. I put my hand on Wisteria and I say, just keep in mind that without sound, Will and I can't cast spells. And then I cast 4th rank silence on her.
Perfect. Wisteria is able to kind of maneuver through without making noise, and with the bubble kind of extending around her. Oh, what else do you guys do here?
Sorry, does that just affect me, or... Oh, 4th rank is... Okay, that's the part about the emanation now. I'll nod to Jeet, and then I have that... I don't know if this would make sense or if what skill this would kind of be relevant for, but I have that Shadowsmith gift, so maybe I can try to like use that and start like forming up the shadows and pulling them away, like off of the, away from the arrows, and try to pull away some of the shadow stuff using that gift that I have to get rid of that.
Perfect. You give me an occultism check with a +1 circumstance bonus. This would be an easy check. Solid. You're able to go through and start pulling up those shadows. Kind of started to get some of them caught up, gathered, and kind of hidden within your own shadowy tools, earning you 1 of the infiltration points out of 2 necessary to resolve this. What is the group doing?
I suspect, and I have no basis for this whatsoever, but I suspect that these are showing somebody else where we are. So what do y'all think of like quickly like trying to like duck into a pantry or something and just trying to like hide for a minute and to see if like somebody comes us and like, I don't know, maybe we can, because it's showing them where we are. So we want to try to be in an out of the way place when they find us, if they're being led to us by our shadows. Makes sense.
And you would guess this is Shinzo Z fucking though.
Yeah. So I think Shinzo is showing somebody where we are. So I want to like make sure that they find us in a place that isn't going to give us away to everybody. Like if we are out in the main hall when we are found, then sound's going to echo everywhere. We're going to have a big problem. But if we're in a wine cellar when we are found, then maybe we don't have to worry about the inevitable fight that happens.
All right, give me a deception check base.
Cool.
Nice.
Just enough. You are able to go through. Kind of shadows continue to point to where you're at, but you kind of keep the group into this like kind of more like areas where they'd expect to see ravers. You do see some people start to stare at the shadows. You see some giants kind of walk up and look at you, but you guys seem to be in spots where you should be, and eventually you see the shadows fade from existence. You hear a voice
that is
just
on
kinda
shadow.
go, in the back of your head, though, with a smile appear.
Will flips the bird at his own shadow.
What grade do we have? Yeah. I'd be saying that a little bit in jest, but also a little bit in like, oh, you're getting graded, and you guys weren't telling us until this Narak guy did. So I'd be like, hey, what grade do you think we have? Sorry, go ahead.
Perfect. Wisteria get asked the grade, but you guys are able to continue on through the fort. You eventually arrive at this door, and this door definitely kind of doesn't give like the area that you're in doesn't give like the impression of a prison room, but the security that blankets this door definitely does. This door is large. It is one of the only pieces in the room. You see, like the giants usually like to favor kind of wood, stone, more natural elements, but this is made of metal. You see that it's enchanted with different glyphs upon it. This looks tough. This looks like it's protecting something of value. As you guys are looking at this, you do hear a sending come through. And you hear the voice of Essian, the gnome for the adamantium renegades. And he goes, Gavels, forwards. Oof. We did not find the general. No gold for us.
Oh, the general.
Or the war chieftain, I should say.
Yeah.
Noted. We have not run into Anka yet ourselves.
If they were hunting the war chief and didn't find him, then that may mean he's around us.
You guys do know that his study was by the Duchess. His room was by the Baron. So you see the room that's likely holding the Duchess. His study is not too far away from that. Do you guys want to try to?
Out of character, I kind of do want to try to run hands with him, but I'm genuinely scared of one of us losing our characters from it, because from what I heard, from what you said, it's going to be a real tough fight, right?
I don't know that it's worth 1,500 gold, like, or 3,000 gold. Like, we got gold, man. I don't know.
So it's not for in my mind, it's not for the gold. It's to weaken their side to make the war efforts easier. I am tempted, and I'm in favor of checking at least if he's there and fighting. Honestly, yes.
All
Is there a way that we can get there? Is there a way that we can get the renegades to help us potentially?
No, they're on like the other side.
Okay.
They'd have to crisscross the fort.
Oh, they're on the other side of the island.
Yeah.
Okay. I follow.
I have spells. Like I could do a fight. I'm just worried. I'm more worried about like if we I think we could win this. Would we be able to survive what comes after? Is my main concern.
Where was the teleportation circle to get out of here again?
Back in the city, in the Mokeland Bank.
Gotcha. So, trying to think, like, if it was close, we could get maybe try to rescue the Duchess and bring her there, but not leave yet, and just have that as like an escape route if we decide the fight's not going our way and teleport out.
Yeah, it's all the way back in the city, so you would not have time to get there, get her, bring her back, and then get back before they leave.
I think our only hope is that if we do want to fight him, is that his studies sufficiently isolated from everyone else, just because it's a study, that he won't be able to raise the alarm easily. But if that's not the case, then we would be in trouble.
Yeah.
So, and assuming his study only has one way in, I do have a bottle of everlasting adhesive I purchased that we could use. I mean, I guess then we wouldn't have a way to get out, but that would prevent other giants from getting in. Should he have some alarm he raises or some other way to contact outside help. Or we lock him in there for, I mean, they'll be able to get out eventually. That's something I would need to set up before.
I definitely like the idea of just putting the adhesive around the door, regardless of whether he's in there or not, just like creating a pain point to get in or get out.
To take the door out and put in a new door. All right. I am terrified. That's my problem.
We're playing pranks on. Let's tie shoelaces together too. That we find in the closet.
The last extreme fight we did, there was no danger of us actually dying. That's the problem. That's what So.
Will.
Yeah.
How long?
I could be convinced.
How long could he make me invisible for?
I think 1 minute. Give me a check. Just
the second rank version, I think it's 10 minutes.
Oh, so 10 minutes. Yeah. I can make you invisible for 10 minutes.
Okay. So what if you make me invisible, I sneak into the room, and I spend a minute applying the everlasting adhesive to his weapon, assuming it's like laying on a table or in a sheath or leaned up against something. I mean, I'm sure that you can still beat us bloody with his fist if he gets the chance, but...
That sounds hilarious, and I love that plan. I have one question. Where is... We've found this giant door. Are there guards by this giant door?
You do not see any guards.
Okay. So
the door we're at is the entrance to where we think the Duchess is. His study is close, but not that door.
Correct.
Okay.
I'm like, oh, I want to do it. Oh, I want to do it, but I'm not sure we'd survive. Or I'm not sure I'd survive. I think the rest of y'all might make it out.
I want to fight.
You know what? If we go with this plan and we think we can take him out quickly enough that where he's not going to call for the whole building for the people. So maybe I'm gonna. All right, Wisteria, I'm convinced. Why don't you go, turn invisible, check out the place? Who's there? Who's around? What is the situation there? And then I'll wait, I don't know, 2 minutes, and then a message.
Can I do a recall knowledge check to see if I know what kind of weapon the war chief uses, or if there's any other details that are related to objects that are important to him that I could use the adhesive on or something like that?
You definitely could. One thing I will say with this too, if you are caught without, because you're gonna, I'll give you a +2 circumstance bonus being invisible, But if you are caught during this, the combat will start with the crew some distance away.
Okay. So even if they're so we should probably have them, the rest of the crew, like right outside the door while I go in or something like that. I might require some stealth checks on their parts, but I'd rather do that than be there alone.
Yeah.
And I think we just rush it. All of us ready with our weapons drawn.
You look upset. Do you don't want to do this? I don't want to do it if we're not on board. You know what I mean?
Let's do a vote on this one. This won't be your toughest fight, but this will give you one of your biggest paydays too. You get 6 between if you're able to still rescue the Duchess afterwards. This will be 6,000 gold if you're able to bring down the general, reducing the giant forces by a significant amount. I forget what the percentage of that is. Bringing them down by 1d10 and earning 2 rerolls for your own forces when it comes to wartime. So this could be there's a lot of return on this, but this will be your first extreme fight with one opponent with no crowd behind you. I like the deal I made for War Chieftain Anka. I'd like to see it played out, but what do you guys think?
Here's the thing. One opponent in its extreme, that means that this guy is succeeding on his saves against my spells if he rolls a 2. Like, so I don't know about that.
I vote yes.
Can I make that recall knowledge check before I vote?
Go for it. You want to know what type of weapons he wears? Or utilizes?
Yeah.
There's so many tales with War Chieftain Anka. It's kind of hard to tell. You've heard that he fights with his fist. You've heard that he fights with a chain and a scythe and a sickle. You've heard that he fights with this weird chain ball. We're not really able to put down what exactly he utilizes.
We can't.
I'm speaking up. I'm speaking to the logical part of the group. Somehow, I'm a dwarf who wants gold, but also realizes I'm just like, listen, like, we were sent here for a mission, and that's to save Persiana. There's other things we can do, yes, and that can be advantageous, but right now, and I'm going to look at Jeet, and I'm going to be like, right now, they may be doing these things for a grade.
Mockery actually looks insulted by that.
I don't care, like, because you guys are doing things behind our back for a grade. Like, this is what's incentivizing you. Like, I like, it's difficult for me to trust any of your instincts because they're tainted by what's on your tongue, or in your case, Mockery, what's on your chest or forehead.
Forehead, yeah.
Forehead.
Right. I will say the only reason I was on board is because of the cool plan where you glued his sword to the ground. That was the reason I was on board, but I am feeling less confident about it now.
To me, it's unnecessary danger, and we have gold, and we're promised gold if we get the princess out. It's unnecessary. We're putting our lives at risk.
Plan, but it's an extreme encounter with one guy, I can't do anything to him. I'm just gonna say I do nothing to this man.
I was vote yes, but Belric unlocked the magic phrase that switches my vote to no. He says
Mockery's gonna look to Jeet instead and say, "We saw it today as we tried to enter here. The wrath of the gods I once loved. You all saw the pain on my face. And in truth, I feel as though I deserve that pain. But you would accuse me of wanting to take down this monster. Is merely chasing some grade with the god I'm trying to escape. I had a great many ideas and plans that yes, I could have done, but I had not done a single one in our chase. a prospect, a mission. Because I would not dishonor the gavel like that. And you will
All right.
tell me that this is not but a bit of chaos. We can take out the head of these monsters, while still getting the Duke's love. Or we could merely take his love and let this thing continue to ravage Kata.
I think now that the doubt has been sown, it cannot be easily unplanted, uprooted. And I think that even if we succeed in this fight and take out the war chieftain for all of the right reasons, Belric's out right that we may face additional challenges from Shinzo or the Infernals on our way back, and then we may not have the strength to handle them. So even though right now I think we may be capable of taking down the war chief, the fact that the infernal gods, well, specifically Shinzo, is interfering at many steps along the way deters me now from pursuing this. I think he's correct that we may have just enough strength to get the lady, the Duchess, and then head out and then face all of the other challenges Shinzo throws at us.
Mockery merely speaks up and says, I use my 2 extra votes.
Is this one of... I looked at Wisteria, is this one of those votes? Or...
I mean, according to the bylaws, if Mockery chooses to use them for a vote like this, he's certainly free to. But
All right. 2 votes. Well, let us see how many other people vote against before you use your 2 votes, Mockery.
If my grade falls below an A, who knows what wrath Shinzo Z would inflict upon me, or all of us.
Surely, someone has a D and an F here, so I don't know.
Mockery actually looks a little disappointed towards Wisteria.
We face an obstacle from Rog. Surely we'll face one from Makesh, potentially from Tomic and Vanek. We're not in a good spot. We're not in an advantageous spot to be picking our battles. Right now, we nearly died from the... Sorry, I pronounced it incorrectly. A rock? The big bird? Yeah,
Mockery
rock.
holds up a finger. Wait, now those are terrifying beasts of the sky. Who knew that they even existed?
I think a lot of people, and we don't need to worry about that right now. Listen, I think we gotta go. We gotta get inside of this giant door before somebody comes along and check on her or something.
Okay,
Sounds like Will and Belric are opposed. Jeets sounds like he's firmly opposed now.
now I'm
as well.
opposed. All right, Wisteria.
Look, I know we have Shinzo Z's been messing with us, but I think he'd be entertained if we defeated this.
I don't care. I don't care how entertained he is.
All right, well, if that's everyone voting against me, then a decision's been made. Let's go save the Duchess.
Oh,
And
okay.
uh,
Because I thought Wisteria also had those
You
extra
have 2 votes.
Yeah.
2 votes to veto. You guys could... 2 of you could veto us.
does anyone else point that out? She's not going to bring it up unless anyone else points it out.
Mockery would.
Yeah,
Because Mockery, it's been established, he keeps track of these kind of things too. Wisteria's notes, and he looked to her. You have 2 extra votes as well.
Right, but you pointed out that you'd use yours, so I'm not going to waste mine. And it's 4 against 1 anyway, so the math doesn't work out.
It would be... You would have 2 votes.
Wisteria's voting with us, so...
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm confused. So everyone else seems like they're voting to go save the Duchess and leave the war chief alone.
Except
The
for
Mockery's
Mockery.
voting to go fight the war chief.
Oh, he was saying some stuff to you earlier. I misinterpreted. Okay,
And he's voting his 2 votes. So
Right.
you're the swing vote with your 2.
I see.
Yeah, which is why I was kind of surprised.
Yeah. All right, I did that wrong there.
Our arcade voting.
voting system.
Yeah, this terrible voting system.
It's great.
We've created.
It's a great voting system.
Is it? Is it? Because majority's not ruling. Okay, sorry.
You guys built the electoral college for the game.
Okay,
Tegan's
so
like, I never want understood this.
Because like out of character for a second, Wisteria does not want to take the risk at this point. But she
Okay.
doesn't want to say anything that would. But she thinks Shinzo Z wants them to, so she doesn't want to oppose that. So I'm trying to figure out a way to like. But like, it's just her and Mockery have the power to do it.
Well, you just have to not speak against him. Doesn't mean you have to do everything that he would like.
But this is also Mockery asking Wisteria to use those 2
Yeah,
votes.
there's some other dynamics I feel like that are there where
Listen, do as you will with Wisteria. I don't control anything with it. If you don't
Can
want
I-
2 votes, you don't have to.
I want to say something in character that I don't know which way it will swing Wisteria, but it might just like be hard swing very one way or the other. Where Jeet loses some of his patience and he says, "Wisteria, just because Shinzo Z told you the grade he's keeping does not mean he's the only one keeping a grade. We're all grading each other." Another.
oh boy. Oh god.
Mysterious nose starts bleeding.
Both nostrils.
Okay, Wisteria is now the person to the sides. I don't want to say it like this because this might sway you. This is entirely a joke, just so you know. The person to the side if we lose a character or not.
Ah.
Deacon, you can't react like that as I say that. You can't just like, oh, yeah, no, that might be true.
Let's just make sure it's the right person.
Wisteria will turn to Mockery and say, do you really think this is worth using these votes that we've held on to for so long? And no future opportunity will come up that is better?
He thinks for only a split moment before saying, yes. Today we still have our honor. In the future, it'll be more of a battle, I suppose. Better to use them now on something that is good and worthy.
And do you all agree to respect the system that we've established and the votes as set forth?
Yes, it is fair because the last time your decisions got overruled.
You did have a good plan, at least.
Elric clenches his fist and just nods. In agreement.
I think seeing the party putting their faith in the system that she's kind of maintained and willing to agree with the bylaws she's written down, I think she'll say that we're the Gavel of Ivasara. We're the winners of the Tournament of Kosir. If we can't do this, we're not worthy of those titles.
All right. Bill pulls out his potion of quickness.
I know.
Sadly.
I know it had nothing to do with what Wisteria said, but Jeet looking so like proud in the picture, but then the moment it starts turning like, if we can't do this, just to copy.
All right. Well, here we go.
So it sounds like Wisteria is voting to take on the War Chieftain.
Yep, and
Okay.
using my 2 votes.
All right.
All right.
So, you'll cast invisibility on me. I'll apply the. If we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this right. I'll attempt to apply it to his weapon. Any other potions or preparatory spells we can do, we need to think very carefully about every choice we make for the next 10 minutes if we're going to have a chance of pulling this off.
All right. Well, if we're doing this, then I'm going to do everything I can. I would like to pull out my Scroll of Synchronize so that we have a signal so that we can all go in at the same time.
Mockery is pulling Hyena out of the pet cache.
And Belric, I think you guys all have one because Jeep bought you guys one a while back. Emergency escape's not a bad thing to have handy.
Oh, yeah. Alright, hold on. I need to move some inventory around.
You can't use it yet. It makes you retreat. But if you definitely want them, I think everybody has them, so I'm just going to make sure if you've got a free hand, keep it in your free hand probably, but if not...
Mine is in my bag of holding, so that's why I need to move stuff around so that I have the capacity to take it out.
Do you guys remember that scene in Lord of the Rings where in the third one, where they send them to Faramir to go fight those guys, and it's just like this sad thing. They're all trotting and just getting shot off there. That's how I feel right now. Just I feel like Faramir in the third Lord of the Rings.
I mean, maybe you guys, Faramir, maybe you guys will end up being Pippin. Who knows?
Will I be able to? Because I have a potion of quickness. Can I drink that and then pull out my emotion of emergency escape before we go in?
Yeah,
I
you
think we'll
guys,
have time.
you guys are able to coordinate this. I will let you guys buff yourselves up for as much as reasonable for the time frame.
Okay, let's see. Belric, you are missing quite a few hit points, so I'm gonna do just a full 2-action heal from my slots. Alright, there you go. That should...
Nice, there you go.
How? Jeez.
It's a low roll.
Yeah, no, I'm good. Thank you. Holy
so-
cow.
Mockery's bringing out Hyena. I assume you're bringing out Bear.
Yeah.
I'm gonna focus on frightening this guy ASAP.
Frightening the giant?
Yeah.
Belric, do you have any poisons? Because typically I save my poisons for my other crossbow, but I'm just going to load up the bolts. If you have poisons, I'll apply them to the bolts in my repeating crossbow. So they're.
I did give you some. Yeah, let me scroll up. Sorry. I think I gave you 2 wyverns. Oh yeah, we'll keep it at that. You had 2 and I have 2.
I'll apply those to the first. Wait. Okay, I'm gonna apply. I need to write this down because I also have 2 imp shots. What was that?
Probably like the first and the third shot.
Yes, I also have 2 imp shots that I think I'm gonna load into the magazine for the repeating crossbow, which is a way to get off guard after a hit.
All right, I gotta figure out the timing of some of these spells I'm gonna be doing. How long does heroism last?
I think 10 minutes.
But
Cool.
Oh yeah, it is 10 minutes. Okay, cool.
Cool. Can I think it might be good for me to cast both invisibility and heroism on Wisteria for this.
Okay. So I'm going to do is apply both Wyvern poisons to my 2 imp shots and load those as the first 2 in my crossbow.
Nice.
I'm not planning on doing a second attack on the first turn because I'm assuming I'm going to need the actions for other stuff.
Yeah. His AC is going to be super high.
You do the first 2 shots?
In my repeating, the first magazine of my repeating, so my repeating crossbow is loaded with a magazine, and the first 2 shots in that will be the imp shots.
I think we need to take every advantage we can on our way in. Which is, I hate this fucking plan, but let's not just let's be advantageous about it. Let's be smart about when we fight them. Whether it's disarming his weapons or waiting for him to come out of the room. I don't know what it is, but
we have a strategy with me in play, but this time around I don't know if it'll work. So I'm going to put away the Naginata and bring back my whip, and we'll see. The strategy, the tactics should be clean and simple. That I go in, I try and make him off guard, just knock him off his stance, and all of you just pelt him with everything you got.
When you see Wisteria pull out of her bag of holding a rapier that she puts on her side, I'll be up in there close to him. Hopefully not for too long, but...
Why? Aren't you more effective from far away?
Right, but if he catches me while I'm fiddling with his weapon, and he's a giant, he can move pretty quick. And sometimes if I'm in melee and there's someone on the opposite side, this can be a better strategy than the crossbow. It's something I've run into a situation before where I wanted it on hand, but it was in this bag of holding, so it was too many actions to pull out. And she's just kind of going through battle strategy, in kind of pointless facts, but just trying to keep herself calm in that kind of way.
Mockery will shift his maul back to promise again after having it like that for so long, especially since changing over to Shinzo. But he'll have his great sword for this.
Anything
He'll
else?
also be using his alternate grip.
I hope you guys earn your A's.
Anybody with warfare lore
Yes.
or an intelligence higher than 3, just roll me a straight d20.
Okay.
Is it 3 and higher, or just higher than 3?
3 and higher. Mockery, one thing you think of, especially because Belric already showed off his potion of retreat, expeditious retreat. One thing that kind of comes to mind as you're kind of planning this out is if you do, you could definitely flee. Running from a conflict is always an option in this campaign. You can always run and make it to a chase. But if you do run, you may want to, depending on how you guys want to play this, if you still want to rescue the Duchess, you may want to break down those words now versus trying to run from the war chieftain and break down words.
Thing is,
I mean, we can do
we
that
don't
now.
need to run.
Yeah, let's break the wards right now.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Is that something we could have been doing in our 10 minutes of prep?
Mockery, you're the one that surprisingly realizes it. What do you say?
Why do you have to do this to me? What I said is probably Mockery's mindset. We won't need to run. We won't need to flee. We're killing this guy here and now.
I do think, like, either way, we would be like, if we need to, I feel like we can get away from this man if we need to, but are we going to be able to save the Duchess if we need to retreat? I'm thinking maybe we should try to at least make that a little easier.
Well, we know the path out, so everyone who is alive whenever the retreat happens just grabs the Duchess and retraces all of our steps.
Right, but we need to make sure that we can get through this door here before we...
Oh, right, yes. I see what you mean.
That's if we need to retreat.
So,
If-
what are...
Yeah, what do
Well-
we need to do to get through this door?
So we got to get our way to that piece as we got into to war planning here. So there's 2 layers to this door. There's like this awareness room that's kind of etched into its front. You see kind of this tracy lines of magic kind of flowing through it that you need to kind of dissolve before you get through. That's 2 awareness points on its own. And you got this thick, heavy metal door that you would need to find a way to get past as well. So it's kind of 2 obstacles in one, each with 2 awareness points.
Is there a keyhole that for the door? Is there a keyhole that someone could work on?
Yeah, there's definitely a keyhole. You think you have to get past the awareness portion to kind of start picking on that, though. So I'll be right back. You guys think of kind of what you want to do for each of those. We'll resolve that portion, and then we'll get into a little bit of preamble for the fight. Kind of see how your plan goes there. Well, I got to run to the bathroom, but while I'm doing that, definitely think of anything else you can add to your guide for your stuff. This is definitely the time to use any of your buff spells, use any of your potions, any random shit you got that you think can help. Buff it up. I'll be right back. Oh, and remember what you put in for next week, because we won't fight them today.
Unfortunately, I think Wisteria is the best person for both aspects of the door.
Belric, your thievery is pretty good, right?
I have plus 16 thievery. I can.
Okay, so that's 1 better than mine.
Oh, okay. But yeah,
What
you're
would be-
definitely the person with the most Arcana knowledge, I think.
Yeah, I can work on that.
I've got.
I'll be
I
right
mean. God, you guys.
Writing down all the stuff that I'm using before the fight.
Wheel of potency.
No, Wisteria is like stressed out of her mind right now. Like she feels
I'm
so
stressed out of my
trapped.
I'm stressed.
Yeah, me too.
What are we doing, you guys? God.
If Shinsoji wasn't part of the equation, she would have 100% voted differently.
Go main quest. No, let's do this very difficult side quest, then the main quest. This is. Alright. I'm
I can't speak
accepting the
over.
rule of the law.
I mean, there could be an argument that this is not what he wants, but that's a very hard argument to make. And
I've been reading this. If there's an audience, they're with me. I'm sure. They must. This is insane.
there's a very small part of her hoping that if we pull this off, in addition to all the benefits in the warfare and looking good for the Duke and all that, Shinsoji will consider that the debt fulfilled because of how entertaining it'll be. But
Never.
I'll hope.
You will never get out of that contract until you explicitly figure out how to get out of that contract. And there needs to be like, what is my goal to get out of this contract? It is X, and that's what I need to do is X. It's not gonna be like,
I
oh,
don't even trust him that way. Like, I don't think.
I
I think he's
absolutely
going to
agree.
keep tricking you to
What do
stay
you
in until
think?
you like trick him to get out.
Yeah.
It's
This
next on
is
my
just-
to-do list. And
You're-
why
you
you
guys-
Wisteria, if you gave
Puppets,
Wisteria
man.
a year of downtime,
Puppets.
she would make use of it.
Puppets.
Well,
I'm with Jeet at this point where Jeet was like, I'm not gonna be part of the gavel anymore because like I can't deal. I can't deal with the stress.
Yeah, I mean, Will has been talking about that this whole time. So I'm here because I will literally die if I don't do this job. So
Yeah.
Well, as the
How far?
guards are kind of thinking of their pending mortality and exit plans, how are we tackling this obstacles?
Yeah.
How far is this? Oh, sorry. Yeah, the door first. Yeah, let's do the door first.
Door.
All right, so I
Agree.
think Wisteria will try to put all of these concerns aside for the moment and just focus on the immediate problem, which is understanding those runes on the door and the magic that they're applying, and where to carefully scratch away at a rune to disrupt the magic without causing any problems.
And I would like to try and help out. I'm gonna cast this on myself. Hopefully, it should also state for the fight whether or not it's useful, just to see if there are any unseen effects, magical effects. And then if I could do a religion check to see the magic, gauge the magic rune, see if I can help out.
Definitely give me a religion check.
All right.
Yeah, so you get a +1 bonus with stairs. You kind of gather your own kind of arcane or your own divine fire from Nar and kind of take a look at these. You don't see any unseen properties, but you definitely do see kind of there's two major properties with this room kind of stashed in there. One is kind of one that would draw attention. You'd guess a blaring noise or something that would draw the giant's attention. The other is an explosion.
All right. Okay. So yeah, the second one is an explosion. So maybe the rest of us are just going to stand a little bit further back now. Good luck, Wisteria. I think I'll give you guidance right before I head out.
Oh, and I keep wanting to bring this up earlier and forgetting. Can I be pursuing a lead to find a way to reach the Duchess as part of the investigation? Okay. Oh, well, that's also circumstance. So
it's a +1. Guidance is status. So
okay.
You get a +2 total.
And I want to cast guidance on Belric when it's his turn.
Wisteria, what are you? How are you trying to do that?
So looking at the magic and the runes and trying to see if there's a way I can scratch kind of at the stone to disrupt the sigil that the rune represents without causing it to trigger, and kind of deactivate the magic through my understanding of Arcana.
Perfect. Give me an Arcana with an easy check. Nice. You're able to go through, begin kind of dismantling the runes, get rid of that awareness rune that would have kind of screeched out an alarm, leaving you with 1 infiltration point left for this track.
How many runes are left?
Just 1 rune left at this point.
Yeah.
What's the rest of the crew thinking?
I think I should try and... Can I use thievery? Can I somehow thievery this rune?
Thievery is disabling traps and runes, so it'll be a medium regular check on that side. So you can definitely kind of utilize your skills and kind of figure out kind of which areas you need to etch off, which areas you need to kind of maneuver on that.
Yeah, I could use some help from Will. That might be ideal. This is to get into the giant's room.
Oh, this is to get into Percy or unlock the way to Persiana's room for when you all come back.
Oh, or just go into a room right now. Okay, yeah. All right. Help me out here, Will.
Oh, yeah, we'll give it some guidance from Rashadiel there.
Yeah. Thievery. Shoot. Okay. Thank you. Hold on. Holy moly.
Solid. Belric, especially with the guidance flowing through you, you're able to go through and carefully etch off the character pieces of this explosion rune, rendering it inert and just leaving this big metal door standing in your path. What do you guys do? How do you all approach the door?
What?
I open it.
Bel-
It's locked, yeah.
Yeah, could you also unlock it?
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Okay. Do I use thievery for that too?
Thievery would be the one. For this one, it'd actually be the easy check.
Sorry,
Perfect.
I
For
thought
one of
that's
the
what I was just doing.
infiltration points necessary, kind of tweaking the lock enough. What's the last infiltration point? What's the last thing you all do to get through this door?
Kick it open. He's here to fill the yes.
Belric is picking the lock, I believe, and the rest of us are just kind of.
Are there any signs of any physical traps, non-magical in nature, that we might have missed in our initial searches?
Give me a perception check here. You don't notice any signs of physical tracks. It seems like they're very confident in the rooms they had placed.
Okay.
Okay, then
Fortress.
Jeet will push against this heavy metal door, open it slowly, make sure no one's.
You guys do have one infiltration point left for this one. Are you going to try to force it open a little bit, G?
I think so. Yeah. Is the last one also about the mechanical aspect?
Hmm?
Nothing.
I guess it's-
He'll force it open. Yeah.
Trying to understand what's stopping us from going through at this point now that it's unlocked.
Partially. Yeah. Belric's able to kind of go through and partially disable the lock. G, you're able to go through, lean your shoulder in and bust through, quietly bust through. Well, you're able to pull this door open, and you see within this room, it is pretty sparsely decorated. It's like this, pretty much a cot, a window, a dresser, and you do see kind of standing near the cot, this woman. She is wearing this kind of, it looks like it's been worn pretty long, like a pretty well worn, just ball type gown. Is like this kind of just flowing white and black, kind of just robe style gown. She has long flowing black hair, deep kind of brown skin, and tired but kind eyes as she looks upon you with a quizzical look.
Is she queen or princess?
Duchess.
Duchess. Okay. Duchess Royce, I presume.
Yes. Who might you be?
I'll actually. That's all I'm saying, and then I'm gonna look over at Will. We are the gavel. He is. Will.
I don't think I look like an orc anymore. So I approach her and I just say to her very quietly, Lady Royce, we are here to rescue you, but we need you to stay here for just a moment. We have one more mission we need to fulfill, but we have unlocked the door. We are ready to come back for you in just a few moments.
Of course. Well, thank the storm gods. I can wait here. We could just leave, but I can also wait here as she speaks. You see shadows flare up, spin around her. You see the shadows twirl. You see her figure distort from this beautiful woman with long black hair and flowing white and black robes into an older man, graying hair, a pudgy belly, clothing tattered and well worn, with look of definitely a look very familiar, but with a different expression by far than you've seen from the sun. but it definitely looks like Leslie Royce, the Duke. Just 30, 40 years older. Taking the place where Persiana was.
Did Shinzo just swap the two?
I'm very confused.
Oh no. Shinzo
He-
just swapped the wife with
pulled-
the
oh,
father.
He
Oh
pulled that Joker from
no!
Dark Knight. Oh, God.
What
No, listen, after we kill the big boss, we need to go looking for her in this castle. Because that was our mission, not bring back the dead. That was the renegades.
Okay, this is the time I think I will cast my sending. Well, first we should just confirm that it's him. It's the dad.
Yeah, what's his... Like, how's he reacting to this?
He is looking very confused. He goes, "Oh, what? We were outside the camp. What is going on? This is uncalled for. This is unconscionable."
Shh. Sir, we need you to stay calm for just a moment. Some sort of magic has swapped your place with Lady Royce.
They had me out.
Right, well,
Well,
it seems now
now
that
you're
Lady
back in.
Royce is out, and we can get you out, but we need you to wait here for just a few moments, all right?
Okay.
Stay
Three
calm.
3 actions sending to the Arag, leader of the renegades. There has been magical interference. It seems like we are looking at the Duke's father here. Do you have the Duchess with you? And then ... We may attempt to take on the general.
You hear back through the mental connection, it's a groan, like I don't know how many characters or letters that it uses, but you hear that groan start. You hear him go, "Fucking hell! You had good luck with the general. Meet us outside the city. Something we need to discuss. Don't bring the general, or don't bring the Baron to the bank."
Huh.
Wait.
Oh.
He said, "Don't bring the Baron to the bank."
He said, "Meet him outside the city center." And he gives you some coordinates as well. It explicitly says, "Don't bring the Baron to the bank."
Did he confirm if he has the Duchess?
Oh, he would as well, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm just going to say, seeing all this, Mockery's gonna glance at Wisteria with what he had said at the beginning earlier about if something happens. And even though he doesn't make any move yet, Mockery's thumb would gently trace Promise's edge.
Jeet will turn to the other two, and I think we know by who I mean by the other two, and say, "Well, it looks like complications are arising, and I foresee them continue to arise. Would you like to stick to your vote? Because it's okay if you want to rescind them. You get to still keep your 2 extras if you take them back."
Wisteria looks to Mockery. Is there any doubt in his mind?
No.
Is there any...
He sees this he sees this, and it's probably not a good look in his eyes. His face becomes
Oh my
more
God.
stern, as if all things are falling into place. He's not happy about it, but at the same time, it's almost like he's viewing this as a sign. Which is not good, I should say, out of character, but in character, Mockery looks more certain now than ever.
So session ending decision. Sticking with the plan? Bouncing out? You decide.
It's okay, Tegan. You can say game-ending decision.
For half a week to think about it? I mean, Sherry is not going to get a week to think about it.
Unfortunately, we are making this one tonight.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
get the hell out of yeah. Like you guys know my decision. This is crazy. We need to
Alright.
get out of here.
Understanding the effects of the curse of Shinzo Z, Wisteria will turn to Mockery and say that the gavel has been better to us than any of the infernal gods. We cannot let him continue to control us. We can't. We need to protect what's good, not try to keep destroying that which opposes us. Are you really willing to risk all of our lives in this endeavor?
He looks at Wisteria, taken a little bit aback. We are all risking our lives right now. We are in the belly of the beast, behind enemy territory, with the head of our enemy right there. It'd be my life I'd be risking too. If anything, I'd be the first to go down to make certain anyone here lives. As there have been times in the past that has been the case. Times in the past where we each have risked life and limb for each other. I am willing to fight.
I believe we can do it. But you've seen all the things that Shinzo Z has done to make this harder for us. That's what I'm afraid of. His interference. It's too much of a variable. We don't know how he's going to act. We can't.
You said it yourself. If we cannot do this, we do not earn our titles. We are not worthy of them.
And it's not
When
just
it comes to Shinzo's interference, we are the Gavels. We will overcome, as we continue to do. My vote remains the same. Wisteria, if your faith falters, say so now.
I don't know whose faith I should follow here.
it's
I
not
have
just
faith in you, but I
it's
also
not
have faith in everyone else here.
it's not just Shinzo Z right now though. It's Rog, it's Tomlin, it's the other Infernals. It's simply too much.
Tom McFinn's here, Makesh.
Yes.
You see
The other Infernals.
He's confused and uncomfortable as you guys are debating this.
Yeah. Well, it's just like what we're describing probably is the most terrifying thing to a man who was almost out of the key. Just like, oh, he's back in it. Oh no, the Infernal's here. What? This is the one. She's getting me out. Mockery, all things said, does not back down, and his eyes are planted on Wisteria, waiting for her decision.
Stare, you are the deciding vote once again.
Mockery, I know that you seek redemption by throwing yourself away for a greater cause, but I love you too much to let you do that, so I'm changing my vote.
Throwing myself away. I do not intend to die. I do not intend for any of us to die. You think that lowly of my decision? That it is trash? Garbage?
No.
You, I go up to Mockery and I say, you are speaking from a place.
Oh, shoot.
Wow.
Sure, yeah.
Speaking from a place. Disappears.
He certainly is in a
Oh, you're
location.
back.
Come on,
You froze speaking at a place.
faster.
Check,
Faster.
check.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
he's- all right.
And he's
He, He's right though. Mockery is speaking from a place.
He was speaking from a place. He was so right about that.
He's speaking.
It was so
He's
good.
in a location currently.
All right, you're
Gee,
back. You can see it. Can you hear us again?
Oh yes, yeah.
We heard
We lost
speaking from a place, and then it cut out.
It was so past
Okay,
it.
yeah. You are speaking from a place that I've never heard you speak from before. I've heard you speak out of reverence. I've heard you speak proudly out of the desire to defend and to stand up for others. This, whatever this is, this twisted feeling inside you that you're trying to let out by this particular decision, it's something.
It is ambition. We are the Gavels. We have the chance to remove the head, the figurehead, the power, the brains behind this in one fell swoop. And even more, depending on how far we are willing to go.
You are ignoring. No, that's what. I think if this
Did
is
my
what you're-
son say to kill the general or the war chieftain?
It was an
Son?
option.
Yes, he said. He said we could attempt to kill him if it was a viable option, even though he himself, now that I think about it, was reluctant about it. His strategist was more enthusiastic on that front.
I mean, the renegades. I mean, we were almost out. I feel like it may be best to be prudent here. But I mean, you all are the experts on this side. Are any of you facing or cotton? No, it doesn't really look like. So I couldn't command you per se.
But you would desire us to hasten out.
I was out of this hellish fort 30 seconds ago, and then shadows here.
Very well. This is a discussion that we can have later, Mockery. For now, I guess the same question to you that Wisteria posed to us. Will you respect the vote?
Mockery's eyes dart to this person we're about to bring out, and back to Wisteria, as if checking that even if that is still on the table or not. And he does not respond before any indication from Wisteria. Which out of the player, to make it very clear and to communicate, is Wisteria and Mockery going to kill this guy? Because they are both very intelligent. I think they can piece together with the don't bring him to the bank, and this guy was the one who surrendered. There might be something up more, and if we get the Duke's wife back and have more favor with the Duke, that might be better than returning a rightful ruler who surrendered. At least in Mockery's eyes, given the fact he is not one for cowardice.
Just, and again, out of character, that would go against one of our edicts, I believe, as the captains.
What?
Oh, that's right. I feel like Mockery wouldn't have that in his head just yet, and someone would need to bring that up to him, which could be a deciding factor for Wisteria.
Trying to remember how.
But then again, it wasn't our job to bring him back, it was the Renegades.
But to be fair, the renegades are doing your job at the moment. Then
That's also fair.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I feel like she said everything she has left to say at this point. So she just slumps her shoulders and says, "We came here with one mission, and we shouldn't jeopardize it with unnecessary risks of any sort. I don't trust the renegade to bring her back entirely safely, so we should return to them and ensure that the job we were assigned to do is completed successfully. And if we... Their last statement, though, has me confused. If they don't want us to bring the Baron to the bank... Well, she wouldn't say that out loud because she's saying
I assume it's privately.
I actually am like considering this is something I'm thinking of doing, but I want to get a gate for the group's thing first. What if Will just turns to the guy and is like, "Hey, why don't they want you to be brought out of here?"
Well, hey, man, you know, sometimes that's the best thing you can do. I'm in sales. You just say, like, ask them, you know? Why are you not going to buy?
Why does the people sent here to rescue you not want to rescue you anymore?
Yeah. Why do these people
What
not like you?
did you do?
That's even better.
Is Will asking?
Yeah.
I want to get a vibe check from the group. Is that a bad idea?
Do it, dude. Please.
All right. Will is gonna turn over, turn away from the circle of like the huddle, and just like walk over to the other fellow. Excuse me. Remind me, what was your title again? Exactly.
Baron Kesse of the Royce family.
Baron. We had just got word from our allies who were in the middle of rescuing you that we should not rescue you. They no longer wish to rescue you. And I'm wondering, what did you do to make it so that they no longer want to rescue you?
Say, that is preposterous, outrageous. I am a noble of the Royce family. I've led this nation for near 50 years of peace and prosperity. Of course they want to. You're just being silly. I mean, I see the mark of Shinzo upon you. You're addled in the brain.
All right, I'm gonna put.
I smack him in his. I'm gonna smack him in his face.
What
Oh,
did you do? Although when Belric comes and smacks him, he has to jump.
Yeah, I'm smacking him in his face.
You're able to.
You don't talk to your. You don't talk to us. We're this way. We're trying to save you.
You don't need to roll. You're able to smack him.
Yeah.
He looks shocked. He goes, holding his face, smarting, kind of his plump face. He goes, "How dare you! My son will hear of this."
Mockery will step forward.
Smack
That's
him again,
debatable.
Mockery.
He steps forward.
That's debatable.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Actually, he doesn't need to hear about this at all. We're friends with the renegades. If they don't want you brought back, we don't need to bring you back.
To be fair, they did say to bring him to these coordinates.
Yeah.
They just said to not
Mockery holds
show
up a
him
hand. Just
the
a
location.
moment.
Yeah. The message was to not take him to the specific location we were going to go to for whatever reasoning
true.
that they have. We do not know that they don't want him rescued.
But you'll never know what happens on the way.
As Mockery
Let's
looks
just-
at him with
Let's,
that
let's
in
just
his
go.
hand.
Let's just go. We have to put our faith in the renegades that they know what they're doing. Let's just go.
I have charm.
Mockery
Do we
not
have to-
back down from this guy just yet.
Do we have,
He needs a
do we
little
have to
close.
trust? Do we have to trust the renegades? The renegades said what the renegades say.
I trust the renegades. Yes, I do not trust Belmu, but Kavib and Arag, I trust them sufficiently enough.
We're starting to get suspicious that there's a possibility that the
Something
Duke
happening.
told the renegades to maybe not make a show of rescuing him and fail, or something of that sort. Can I make a society check to see if there's any evidence of like bad blood between the Duke and the Baron in the past, or anything that I've studied about that might support that theory?
Because you guys are surprisingly never recalled knowledge on anything relating to the Duke, the Baron, or Kata.
Hey, Tegan. Well, there's a lot going on.
On my list was to retrain one of my knowledge skills into Fessia lore, but didn't get around to it.
So you know a number of different things with this. The Baron, for years, for decades, known as a beloved ruler for Kata. He is a great peacetime ruler. He dedicated a lot of effort to kind of increase doing public works, increasing resources, increasing opportunities for his people. But he did not really, he was a great peacetime ruler. He didn't really prepare the military. He relied upon Sandric Sanda's son to protect Kata. And then when Sandric disappeared after his wife's death, and then the war came, Kata was not prepared to handle the giants. And according to the Duke, there was a pretty public falling out for them right before the war occurred, because the Duke continuously railed that they needed to be strengthening their army, strengthening their defenses, buying mercenaries, doing everything that could be done. But the Baron thought he'd be able to convince them. He thought people loved him. He thought his silver tongue would win the day. The Baron proved to be wrong. The war came. The Duke did what he could to prepare his people, prepare the army, and fought back. But eventually, the giants are able to make their way to the city-state of Kata, past the island itself to the city itself, and the Baron surrendered, while the Duke was kind of gravely injured from the a giant attack and had to be evacuated.
When you said try to convince them with the silver tongue, meaning the giants, to not invade?
The Baron engaged in significant diplomacy with the giants, thinking he could charm his way out of a war.
Mockery's not backed off from him this entire time, kind of staring right into his soul, and just resting on the pommel of his sword. But for the first time, his eyes break from him to look over to Wisteria.
Wisteria, still a distance away, draws her rapier and kind of points it towards the Baron and says, "Are you sure the Duke wants you rescued? Are you sure he wouldn't reward us for becoming the final authority of Kata and having rule over this land?"
He shed his father's blood? Never. He's a Royce.
Jeet stands up and stands between Wisteria and the Duke. He's not raising any weapons or arms. He says, This is speculation. We cannot. We have to leave. We are wasting time. We could get caught, and we can decide this outside.
The politics of Kata. He would still need to be rescued. He could not send a rescue for you if he was sending one for his wife as well. He wanted his wife saved. But to do so without sending someone, anyone, even just a mercenary crew after you, well, that would cause quite a bit of uproar, wouldn't it? But if that crew was set to fail in some way...
And he just looks to him.
They were succeeding from what I heard anyway. If the two of you... We can't... What is this? He turns to Belric. Is this... Tell me if this is Shinzo Z or if this is the two of them.
Okay.
I wish I knew.
Okay.
We need to leave.
Yes, our edicts are protect the weak. Right now, he is weak. Fulfill
so
our contracts.
The Baron does look at you, and he goes, "You serve Nar. Your people are known to be quite honorable. I place myself within your hands by, he's not a storm god, but by Nara's fire. Gold, renown.
Aye.
Then I
Hey,
take you for now under my protection.
I
And
just have
it
one
would be
thing
dishonorable
that
for me.
I rolled for. 11 up, Mocker's gonna do something. 10 below, Mocker's gonna do something. The 10 below was going to be a negative thing. When G turned his back, I didn't get the opportunity to say this before the man was like, okay, I put you by Nara's fire, you're honor bound to keep me alive. Mocker was gonna draw his blade.
Was he?
But after that, you can see like it's halfway drawn, but after he just said that, that gives Mockery pause. He looks back to Wisteria. Always referring back to Wisteria.
So her hand kind of wavers, and she lowers the rapier a bit, saying, "You're right, this is all pure speculation. If that's what the Duke wanted, the Renegades would know. We can ask them when we see them." I'll sheath my blade and say, "I vote to bring the Baron to where the Renegades told us to, immediately."
And let's go.
Thank
Let's
you.
go.
Of course. The Renegades seem like a very competent, loud. I mean, a little bit colorful, but very competent. I mean, not comparably competent, but very, very. I mean, I haven't even stopped talking. But let's just go. Let's leave.
And as we step away, I fall in next to Jeet, and without the Duke being able to hear, or the Baron being able to hear, say, "And what do we do if my theory is, if the Renegades confirm my theory?"
Is it good to end the session with the camera zooming in on a concerned-looking Jeep?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh,
Sweet. That's where we'll wrap up today's session. A lot happened.
this is like the true pivot. I feel like between the party going down the good route or the evil route.
Yeah.
It feels like if we just outright kill this man or leave him to die, that might be the bad route.
You guys almost fought the war chief. You guys are like killing the infiltration part. Like you guys like hitting that competence spree with the infiltration part, getting through 3 of the 4 rounds with only 8 points of awareness, and 3 of those being from before you even started. So you guys killed that. I was a little worried of the fight because it probably 1 to 2 to more could have died there. I think you guys could have won, but it would not have been a bloodless victory. Depending on who falls first, it may not be a victory. But with that, you guys at least you got one of the people. You got a rendezvous with the Adamantium Renegades to see.
There's 3 people. Yes, this is good. This is good.
This is good.
This is good. We're in good
Technically, we are
shape.
winning.
Let's play it out, you guys. We don't need to. Oh, all right.
And I will say, because the war chieftain shares a level with Thrax, so it would have been an interesting encounter. You guys would have had to been all your shit. The way that the rock fight went, I was not feeling super confident for you guys, but you guys avoided that bullet. But there's a lot of other bullets coming at you. It feels like with some major decisions need to be made after the Adamantium Renegade rendezvous. Potentially threatening and smacking a Baron a couple times, depending on how that goes. Yes, everybody. Next week, you have to come back and see how the crew goes through, which should be perfect timing because we're going to take a 2-week break after next week, so this next week will be a pretty impactful session. I hope. So everybody, make sure to join us next Thursday and see how that goes. But thanks for hanging out, everybody. We'll see you all next time.